Ohio gozaimasu, konnichiwa, konbanwa, wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Drafts Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Commentary and views are our opinions and are not affiliated with the NPB, the Pacific League, Central League, or their sponsors. We are giving English reports on the game being played and hope English-speaking fans around the globe can enjoy the games on YouTube and Twitch along with us. Well, this is going to be interesting. This is the second game of a NPB doubleheader that we're trying to pull off here tonight, as this is going to be the Orix Buffaloes and the Chiba Lotte Marines. The Chiba Lotte Marines are about ready to take the field, and we're going to give you the starting lineups first for the visitors from Osaka and Orix. Leading off and playing second base, wearing number 36 is Tatsuya Yamashi. Batting second in center field, wearing number 1 is Shuhei Fukuda. Batting third in left field, wearing number 67 is Kai Nakagawa. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting, wearing number 7 is Masataka Yoshida. Batting fifth in right field, wearing number 99 is Yutaro Sugimoto. Batting sixth and playing third base, wearing number 6 is Yuma Mune. Hitting seventh and playing first base, wearing number 14 is Joe McCarthy. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is number 24, Kotaro Kobayashi. And batting ninth and doing the catching is Kenya Wakatsuki. And they're going to be facing the right-hander for the Marines, and that is going to be Kota Futaki. He is 2-2 on the year with an ERA of 2.97. He's worked 33 in the third innings. He's allowed 29 hits, 12 runs. He's walked 11 and struck out 27. So those are your starting lineups for the Chiba Lotte Marines, or for the Orix Buffaloes. We're going to give you the Chiba lineups at the end of the next half inning, as we are a little bit behind in our schedule. As we said, we are going to be doing the second one here. We just concluded the first one about a half an hour ago. So hopefully we're going to have the crowd in here tonight like we had in for game number 1. So that is our lineups for tonight for the visitors from Osaka. And we're glad people can bounce in here and check in, as we have this one here is ready to go. It is a windy day in Chiba. What is not to expect in Chiba? Chiba, they usually have wind. It is blowing in from left center field, and that is going to create some havoc for the players that are here. So here we go as we're ready to get this one underway. We've got ourselves Eric Cheng back in the house. We're glad to have you here as we are ready to get this rolling. And here comes the first batter of the game. It is Tatsuya Yamashi, as he bats from the right side against the right-hander Futaki. The first pitch of the ball game is here, and it is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. For Yamashi on the season, he's batting .059. He's got no homers and no RBIs. He's only got 17 at-bats. And here comes the offering from the right-hander. It is a fastball swung on. It is belted foul down the left field line. The count now runs even to 1-1. So Yamashi, Fukuda, and Nakagawa to face the right-hander here in the top of the first inning. The Orix Buffaloes are wearing an all-white jersey with pinstripes today. They almost look like the Chiba Lotte Marines. And the pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is now 1-2. The Marines today are wearing white bottoms, but they've got black tops with purple around the Marines and on their hats as well. So a little different look for Chiba. Here comes the 1-2 offering. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed. And Yamashi is gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the center fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. Steps up to the plate to face the right-hander Futaki. As I say, it's a little hard getting used to these uniforms, the purple and the black. It looks nice, as the Marines are wearing the dark-colored tops. There's a first pitch that is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1 on Fukuda. Fukuda bats from the left side. He likes to choke up at the end of the bat. He starts with his hands in launch, and he is in load, waiting for the offering from the right-hander. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is belted into center field, drifting back on it. As the center fielder, Takabe, he's got room, and he's going to make the catch. And so 2 up and 2 away here in the top of the first inning, and that's going to bring up the left fielder, Kai Nakagawa. For Nakagawa, he is batting .303 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 30 runs batted in. He steps up here ready to face the right-hander Futaki. It is not a sunny day in Chiba. It's more of a overcast day. As we said, there's quite a bit of wind coming in from left center. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Nakagawa. And Futaki now delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. There are other games now going on in the NPB, and we'll keep you updated with that as they move along. It is the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters and the Tohoku Rocket and Golden Eagles. That game is also underway. The 2 games in the Central League go off in less than an hour. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And Nakagawa is down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning, and that was a quick one for the right-hander Futaki. There was no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We'll give you the lineups for the home team for Chiba when we return. Great to have you back for round number 2 here tonight. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the first inning, and we're going to give you the lineups for the home team for Chiba. Leading off and in left field is number 0, Takashi Ojino. Batting second in center field is number 38, Akito Takabe. Hitting third is the second baseman wearing number 8, Shogo Nakamura. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 44, Seiya Inoue. Batting fifth and doing the designated hitting is number 54, Brandon Laird. Batting sixth and playing shortstop is number 55, Edney Hechavarria. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 32, Toshiya Sato. Hitting eighth in right field is number 25, Hiromi Oka. And batting ninth, the third baseman wearing number 4 is Yudai Fujioka. They're going to be facing Daiki Tajima, the lefty for Orix, who is 6-3 on the year. He's worked 88 2/3 innings, allowed 81 hits, 25 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 30 and struck out 67. He's got an ERA of 2.54. So now here we are as we're ready to go as Takashi Ojino steps up to the plate as he's ready to face the first offering from the left-hander Tajima. And here he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Alexander Leggett says he's back in here. He can't promise he'll make it for the whole stream. If not, we'll have to replace you with a couple of bots. As there's a fastball that misses up, and the count now goes to 1-1. We're going to have to be shooting them down ourselves. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ojino. Here's the offering from the lefty Ojima, and there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. Racing back on the warning track and looking up, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Ojino to lead off the ball game. That is home run number 2 for him on the season, as he has taken the lefty Tajima for a ride. And that, just like that, we are underway with Chiba on the board, 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. That is going to bring up the center fielder, Akito Takabe. So high fives all around for Ojino. I'd like to be able to find out about stats the NPB keep like MLB does. How many home runs that would be to lead off a ball game, and who has the record? There's a first pitch fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep left field. Moving back on it is the left fielder Nakagawa, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Takabe for the first out of the inning. So that is 1 gone, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Shogo Nakamura. Our friend Alexander Leggett says that guy in here earlier was giving out picks. I was laughing so hard I did the opposite of all of them. One of them was the Marines. It's going to be a good night, he says. And so here comes the pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakamura. Well, I can't win them all, but you got to at least win one. I know I've had some of those nights where, as I said, I don't put a lot down very often. Usually when I do, that's why I don't put my money down. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count's 1-1. It is a hard thing to do to be able to pick right. They have those guys that are experts. They analyze the data. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 now to Nakamura. Actually, that last pitch was a breaking ball that was swung on. It's 1-2. Nakamura wears the C on his chest, even in these alternate uniforms. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is lifted to left field. This ball is going to get down for a base hit in front of the left fielder, Nakagawa. Nakamura is aboard with a one-out single, and that's going to bring up Seiya Inui to the plate. So right now, there is no mystery here from Daiki Tajima. Every ball that has been hit hard or deep. That brings Seiya Inui to the plate. These are loud hits and outs. So Inui comes to the plate. He's batting .271 with 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Our friend Mick is back in the house tonight, too. Welcome, Mick. Glad you're back in for the double dip. It's our triple dip. This is the 3rd game in a row we've done, including the Major League game. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1. I remember a number of years ago in the World Cup of soccer, I think it was John Helm would do the games, and he would do double headers back-to-back. English broadcaster out of Great Britain. He was pretty solid to listen to. Here comes the 0-1 pitch to Seiya Inui. As Tajima holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 0-2. Inui is a double play candidate. He does not run particularly well. So be curious to see if they put Nakamura in motion at some point here, maybe to stay out of the double play. So no balls and 2 strikes. And here comes Tajima ready to deliver again. And he kicks and he fires. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Made the pot of tea in between innings. It's going to hopefully keep us going here. There used to be a thing in Major League Baseball when a home plate umpire could work a 9-inning game in under 2 hours. The crew had to buy him dinner. And if the game went over 4 hours, the home plate umpire had to buy the rest of the crew dinner. And there they flip over to first base and getting back in time as the base runner Nakamura. Well, if these two pitchers could do it here, I think a round of sushi should be on the works for these two guys, or the home plate umpire anyway. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tajima holds at the belt. He checks the runner, and now he delivers. It is a fastball that misses down. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say that Nakamura didn't go, or Inui didn't go. Sorry about that. And that's going to run the count to 2-2. Nakamura definitely didn't go. He's the runner at first base. As we get the replay on that, I'm not so sure that wasn't a strike. Maybe that's the home cooking starting right off the bat. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. That ball is thrown, and it is high, and it is not going to be in time. As that ball was delivered way too high. It's a stolen base for Nakamura. So Nakamura gets himself a stolen base. It's going to run the count to 3-2 on Inui. Alexander Leggett said it must be ancient history. I can't see the players being anything but the enemies of the umpires. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's over on the first base side, and the count remains at 3-2. Earlier tonight, when we watched the Padres and the Minnesota Twins, Jerry Lane was the umpire at second base. I think it was in the 7th inning. It was a 2-1 ball game for the Twins. And Jurickson Profar hit a one-hop shot off of Jerry Lane. Well, C.J. Abrams was at second base. If that ball goes up the middle, as it would have, I would have scored Abrams from second, but because it hit the umpire, there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Inoue is down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. It was a ball that became a dead ball. Profar was awarded the single, and they had to bring the base runner all the way back to second, which was Abrams, and eventually San Diego didn't even score the run. So there were a lot of words held out between Jurickson Profar and Jerry Lane. He had a few words with him in between innings and a few more words after the inning. So Brandon Laird steps to the plate. He's batting .203. He's got 14 homers and 45 runs batted in. Jima holds at the belt, and now he delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Brandon Laird. Edney Hechavarria is looming on deck. So the lefty holds at the belt. He checks the runner over at second. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Brandon Laird. I hadn't marked it down. I was taking a look the other day again at the discrepancy in the home runs hit between the Central League and the Pacific League this year. Just in general, the Pacific League home run numbers are down considerably. Here's the 1-1 pitch. As Tajima kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly to third. It is picked up by Fujioka. He throws over to first. Or check that by Mune, who throws to first. And that is going to retire Laird on a ground out 5-3. That is going to do it here in the inning, but there was damage. There was a run. The home run to begin the inning by Ogino on 2 hits. There's no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're through 1. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1. The Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this. Glad you guys could make it in here with us. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the Orix batting order here coming up to face the right-hander Kota Futaki. That means it's going to be Masataki Yoshida, Yatara Sugimoto, and Yuma Mune. We had a really good crowd in that first game. I was going to say earlier on, sometimes it's fun when you do the games and you have an audience in, and not only was it a good audience, but it was a fun audience too, because the people were generally engaged in, whether it be the gambling crowd or the non-gambling crowd, they were interacting, and that was pretty cool. And a couple of weeks ago, we had a couple of people we had to put in a timeout because they were overriding the chat. For the most part, that was a really fun group in game number 1 of the NPB tonight. And there's a first pitch fastball that misses down to Yoshida, and the count is 1-0. Yoshida's batting .316 on the season, one of a couple of hitters in the Pacific League batting north of 300. He's got 11 homers and 53 runs batted in. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball from Futaki that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Whenever you can get that opportunity to call the games and you get a chance for folks to enjoy it with you. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is now 2-1. Friend Alexander says, so Eric, there's still time for the Buffaloes to catch up. Last game was fun. I spent most of the time looking at the cheerleaders, says Alexander Leggett. We've got another one that I'm working on. We'll get that one up here. I was hoping to maybe do it in between the first and the second game, the Major League game and the NPB. I wasn't expecting to do another NPB game tonight, as the breaking ball is swung on and fouled away, and that's going to run the count to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Masataka Yoshida. But being that we had so much of a crowd and the game was able to do it, we just got under the wire to be able to get it done. Had to get everything set up and at the lineups in place. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Racing over is the third baseman, and making the catch over the shoulder is Yunai Fujioka. Nice play to retire Yoshida for the first out of the inning. 1 up and 1 away, and then it's going to bring up the right fielder, Yatara Sugimoto. For Sugimoto, he is batting .254 on the season. He's got 13 homers and 46 RBIs. Sugimoto has really pulled it together over the last 6 weeks. Started the season just awful. He's hitting around 150, what seemed like the longest time. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Sugimoto has to be an integral part of this offense, especially hitting in the middle part of the batting order to drive in runs. Big fella here waiting on the offering from Futaki. He kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Racing over is the center fielder Takabe. He cuts it off. And that is going to hold Sugimoto to a long single. And he's aboard with 1 out, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, Yuma Mune. Talking about power outage, Mune batting .270 on the season. No homers, 25 RBIs. Last year he had a few home runs to his name, but really no signs of power here. He did knock a run in last night. He drove home Masataka Yoshida with a single. So Mune steps up to the plate, batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Futaki. Futaki holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1 ball and no strikes to Mune. One thing I did do today is I actually registered for a Reddit account. I've had an account since 2020, but I actually created a page and did something there. First time for us. I got to figure out how to use Reddit a little bit. It's not something that is in my repertoire. In fact, I wasn't even joined of the NPB page at any point in time. I usually look at the fellow who runs the Twitter feed. I catch up on some of that stuff. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Sugimoto. So if you get a chance, go check out the NPB Twitter account. It's run by a fella who's in Sapporo. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-0. He is a Swallows fan, or claims to be a Swallows fan. So be sure to check him out when you get a chance. He really does a great job updating the stuff every day. So 2 balls and no strikes. Alexander Leggett says the Twitter NPB is pretty good, and the Reddit NPB is good for highlights. I follow most of the NPB teams on Instagram. I think last time I looked, it was 11 of the 12 teams have an Instagram page, or at least that's how many I'm following. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-0 to Mune. Pitch was down in the opinion of the umpire. We take a look at that I would have to say that one there will be reviewed at the end of the game. That to me was more than a 50-50 pitch. So 3 balls and no strikes. Pataki checks the runner at first. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-1. Joe McCarthy waits his turn on deck. It's 3 balls and 1 strike to Mune. It'll be interesting to see if they put Sugimoto in motion to maybe stay out of the double play. There's a pitch to do it. This might be the one. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Mune has started back. There's a couple of the hitters have started with their hands already in launch and being loaded. Mune is one of them. There goes the runner. He swings and misses. Throw down to second base, and it is in time. They're going to nail the not-so-fleet-footed Sugimoto. It's going to go down as a caught stealing. 2-6. He's erased for out number 2. Mune was unable to get a piece of that last one. Pitch was a good couple inches off the plate. He swung right through it. Surprisingly, Sugimoto got down the line pretty good. For the big fella, he's got 3 stolen bases on the year. So that runs the count to 3-2 on Mune. Pataki ready to deliver it again. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. That's going to be ball 4. And Mune is aboard with a walk, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Joe McCarthy. So for McCarthy on the season, he's hitting .230 with 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. One thing I will say about the Japanese players is that they have some really good body language. I say really good because it's really entertaining. They don't say a whole lot, but the way that their body moves speaks a whole different language, and the umpires, I'm sure, know exactly what they're saying. So here comes the first offering to McCarthy. That is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. McCarthy batting that .230 with the 4 homers and 18 RBIs. When I watch some of the North American players come over, obviously, Brandon Laird's had himself a long career, and even, say, North American players, even the Latin players like Dayan Visayado, has been able to carve himself out a nice long career in the NPB. There's a lot of players who go over and they're one and done. They can't play in the league. There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. Eric says, I don't understand the hit and run there. I'll give you my thought on that in just a second. As it's no balls and 2 strikes here to the hitter McCarthy. And they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Mune. So one of the reasons why you would put the hit and run on with a 3-1 count, generally speaking, is number one is you're probably going to get a good pitch to hit. He doesn't want to walk you, so it's going to be around the zone. Number 2 is you can put the runner in motion. And if you get the pitch at 3-1, when you put it in play, it'll keep you out of the double play. So worst case scenario, if you hit the ball, as there is a fastball that has hit Joe McCarthy, and he's going to get first base. He's going to put runners at first and second. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. Fastball that came right in and hit him on the side of the knee, leg, just above the knee. But part of it is the batter has to at least put the bat on the ball and get it in play. Like, it's not like a particular pitch that he threw was something that was really hard. Just protect it and get it into play on the ground, and maybe you find yourself a hole. But certainly Sugimoto would have been at second base. They would have traded the spot there for the out. You'd have a guy in scoring position. So here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed by Kobayashi, and the count is 0-1. Kobayashi's batting at 208 on the season. He's got 4 homers and 23 runs batted in. With that being said, it might be a little bit high up in the order for me to have been doing that in my mind. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 0-2. Sometimes you see that when the 9-hole hitter is the one that's on base, and you've got maybe 2 away, and they put the runner in motion. He gets thrown out. He gets thrown out. You got the leadoff hitter batting the start the next inning, but if he gets over there, then the leadoff batter's got a chance to knock him in with the big top part of the order coming up. So here comes the 0-2 pitch. There is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded foul down the third baseline, and it's going to keep the count at 0-2. Or Alexander Leggett says, or you can just plan to get hit by the pitch. Yeah, really, the walk to Mune and a hit by pitch, that would be a bases-loaded situation with 1 out right now. As Fataki had lost a little bit of command here of his pitches. This is going to be pitch number 30 of the ball game coming up here to Kobayashi as Fataki holds at the belt. Now he delivers it as a split-finger pitch missing down. Runners hold. That's going to run the count now to 1-2. Kobayashi was waving him around, but nobody advanced. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is to Kobayashi. I really like the way that this youngster plays shortstop. Obviously, his bat needs a lot of work. He's languishing in the low 200s. Truthfully, I think he should be better than that. Even if he was hitting about 240, 250, it would make a huge difference. As a fastball swung on, it is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. You'd think down at this part of the batting order, you'd see some more fastballs, but not so much in this at-bat. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kobayashi. He comes set at the belt. Checks the runner Mune at second. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And Kobayashi is gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Orix Buffaloes threatened, but they don't score. There was no runs. There was 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning. It is the Chiba Lotte Marines 1, the Orix Buffaloes no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. And we'll give you the call of the bottom of the 2nd in a couple. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of the 2nd inning. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters coming to bat for the Chiba Lotte Marines. That means Edney Hechavarria, Toshiya Sato, and Hiromi Oka coming up to bat to face the left-hander Daiki Tajima. See this, Daiki Tajima has given up some loud hits today and also some loud outs. was the home run to begin the ball game by Ogino, the deep fly ball by Takabe, and a hard base hit by Nakamura. Got things going for the Marines. So Hechavarria steps in. He's hitting .241. He's got a couple homers and 19 RBIs. The .241 average for Hechavarria is, I would say, a little bit on the high side. For him, he's never been a great hitter by any means. The first pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Hechavarria. So anything you get offensively from this fella is generally a bonus. So no balls and one strike. Left-hander Tajima ready to go back to work. He delivers a breaking ball, swung on and missed, and the count is now 0-2. Hechavarria reminds me of the shortstop I had when I was over in Europe. I mentioned this before. Eddie Martinez spent about 8 years in the minor leagues. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal down to the first base umpire, and they say he didn't go. The count is 1-2. Martinez had played in Detroit and Baltimore organizations. He got to AAA with the Atlanta Braves. He was probably arguably the best glove I've ever seen at shortstop. I've had on my watch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined down the left field line. It's into the corner. It's trouble. It's off the wall. Hechavarria rounds first. He's digging for two. Here comes the throw, but it's not going to be in time, as he's got himself a stand-up double here to lead off the second inning. As that is another hard hit ball off the starter Tajima. It's going to bring up the catcher Toshiya Sato. Our friend Brandon Castro is checked in. How's it going, Brandon? He says, who you got winning this game? Well, I'll leave that to the chat here to give you their offerings. Maybe Eric or Alexander, who've been chatting it up in here, might give you their thoughts, because I have to admit, I really didn't do a ton of homework on this one before we started, because I wasn't really planning on doing this one. There's a first pitch that is a fastball squaring to bunt was Sato, and it came up and hit him. It's a foul ball, and that's going to be 0-1. Who would I normally like in this game? I would probably say the Chiba Lotte Marines. Before, though, when you look at the starting pitcher of Daiki Tajima for the Buffaloes, I'd rather, if this game was being played in Osaka, I might say the Buffaloes, but because it's in Chiba, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. So Alexander Leggett says if the Marines keep hitting like they are, it'll be the Marines all the way. Alexander says the Buffaloes were favorite pregame. There's a fastball squared to bunt is Sato. He gets it down. It's going to go down as a sacrifice, 1-4. As Hechavarria has now moved over to third, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Hiromi Oka. So high fives all around for Sato. It was I would call it pretty much an average bunt by Sato. It was right back to the pitcher. Usually you want to try to put it down either the first or the third baseline. In that situation, probably the third baseline to draw the third baseman Mune in. So the Buffaloes are playing the infield in, as they are concerned here that this might be a low-scoring game. They're going to try to cut the runner off at the plate. It's Hiromi Oka at the dish. And here comes the first pitch from Tajima. It's a breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Oka is hitting .218 on the season with 5 homers and 13 RBIs. And neither Oka or Yudai Fujioka have been doing much offensively this year, as Fujioka waits on deck. So Tajima holds at the belt. Now he's ready to deliver. Kicks and he fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Oka. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Checked in on some of the major league information in between innings, and one of the things that came across the wire is, we were looking at different rumors, is the Cardinals are interested in Houston left-hander Jake Odorizzi. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's to Jima, holds on. He fouls that one off. Great job by Oka to try to get a piece of the ball. The runner Hechevarria was off on the move. Oka had to lunge across the plate to be able to get a piece of it, and that ball was fouled off. That is going to run the count now to 1-2 on Oka. I'm wondering if they may still try to keep this one on. But what interests me about the fact that the Cardinals are interested in Jake Odorizzi is more interesting that probably the injury to Steven Matz might be long-term or longer-term. Cardinals might acknowledge. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted to deep right center field. This ball's going to get down. It's up the gap, and it's off the top of the wall into the stands. It's going to be a ground rule double for Oka. It's going to cash in Hechevarria. The score has now been doubled to 2-0 for the Marines as we are here in the bottom of the second inning. That is going to bring up the third baseman, Yudai Fujioka. So as I was saying about Odorizzi, as we were kind of talking about a little bit of this stuff, I think the injury to Steven Matz might be more important than what we really know. So they're probably looking to get a left-hander in as a starter between now and the end of the year. I don't know if Odorizzi's really got October stuff, though. I'm not sure he's going to be somebody that would put you over the hump. So here comes the first offering to Fujioka. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. For Fujioka this year, he is hitting .169. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. It has been a tough year for Fujioka. He's not enjoyed the successes he's had in recent years. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes even now at 1-1. I think last year he had 45 RBIs, and whatever it is, he's found it a struggle this year at the plate. Sometimes you don't always know what goes on with the players off the field. If he's got a trouble with a girlfriend or a wife, maybe a family member, thoughts aren't always on baseball and you're thinking about something else and creates havoc in the game. You don't always see that every day. There's a fastball fouled away. The count is 1-2. Says, as Alexander Leggett says, you can never tell what MLB teams are going to do with their trades. Josh Bell, coming from the Nationals, there better be a couple outfielders going the other way. There's a logjam of outfielders in St. Louis. Nobody really doing a whole lot. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is popped up over on the left side of the infield. It's playable. Camping out underneath it is Mune. He makes the catch. That is going to retire Fujioka for the second out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order for Takashi Ogino. So Ogino began the ball game with a home run to lead it off in the bottom of the first inning for the Marines. That was his second homer of the year. So Ogino steps to the plate. He's pulled his average up to .312. Tajima holds set at the belt. He checks the runner at second. He checks him again. Now he delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Ogino. Ogino definitely not known for his power, but he does provide some wheels at the top of the order and has the knack to be able to get on base, Hito Takabe has almost the similar skill set in the 2-hole. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is now 1-1. Except Takabe can run a little bit more. He's got almost 30 stolen bases. He's 29 right now for the year. So establishing his lead at second base is Oka. There's 2 gone here in the second inning. It is a 2-0 lead for the Marines. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-1 on Ogino. So 2 balls and no strikes. It is definitely not a full house in Chiba. I would say this Sunday afternoon crowd is probably looking at about 60% capacity, maybe a little more. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left center field. Racing over and making the catch underneath it is Nakagawa, and that is going to do it for the Marines here in their half of the second inning, but they add to their scoreline. There was 1 run in the inning on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 2 complete innings in Chiba. It is the Marines 2, the Buffaloes nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this from our friend Steve Rademacher.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and your support of the channel, and in turn, we support Steve Rademacher. We are now moving to the top of the third inning. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, I wish they could trade Ojima for someone on the Golden Eagles or something, maybe Sugimoto too. There was a trade in the NPB earlier this week. I saw that it was, I believe it was Morihara, pitcher for the Golden Eagles, was shipped over to the Central League. I want to say it was a Chinichi Dragons. Sent an infielder the other way. Not familiar with the infielder. Curious to see how that's going to play out. You got to figure the infield is already kind of jammed in Tohoku, so I wonder what that trade was all about. If you think about it, they've got Katara Kobayashi at short, and second they got Asamura. There's a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike on Kenya Wakatsuki. Wakatsuki on the season is batting .296. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. It's the 9-1-2 hitters in the order for Orix coming up this inning, as Yamashi is on deck, and then Fukuda. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the night goes on, it gets a little bit more difficult to see. We've got to keep the glasses handy. There's a fastball swung on. It's listed into deep center field, and Takabe is going to run that one down. And that will be out number 1 here in the third inning for the Buffaloes, and that'll bring up the top of the order in Tetsuya Yamashi. So for Yamashi tonight, he began the ball game by striking out. Gets the start tonight. He is now 1 for 18 on the season. Got the start at second base tonight for the Buffaloes. And here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Used to tuning in and seeing Ryo Adachi holding down the position, so not sure why he's not getting the nod. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted foul down the left field line. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to run the count now to 1-1. Couple things I'm interested in would be going and trying the Japanese ballpark food. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left center field. Racing back is Hechavarria. So as I talk about the lack of production from Yamashi, he gets himself a single here. Now he is 2 for 19 on the season. As that ball fell into shallow left center field, it was a bleeder for sure. I think right now they're having to wipe the blood off it. So that is going to bring up the center fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. For Fukuda, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew up to center field his first time up. He bats from the left side against the right-handed throwing Kota Futaki. Futaki holds at the belt, and now he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is Yamashi. Yamashi does have a stolen base on the year. It'll be curious to keep our eye on him to see if he's going to be off and running. So again, the right-hander Futaki gets the sign from his catcher Sato. Comes set at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander leans in. He gets his sign. And now he comes set at the belt. And again, he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Yamashi. There is a strange rule in the NPB. You're supposed to hold, when you come set, you're supposed to hold the ball for 3 seconds. The reason why I call it strange is when you watch Major League Baseball, it used to be a term in the rule book that used to say you had to come to a discernible stop. And here comes the 1-0 offering. As Futaki delivers a fastball that swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-1. Well, one of the reasons, basically, I forget what the actual ruling in Major League Baseball, they have changed the term. It's not discernible stop anymore. But you have to come to a stop. And so what you train pitchers to do is to hold the counts for either 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, or 4 second. And what that does is it also disrupts the running game. It freezes the base runners. And so if you're in the Japanese league and you got to hold it for 3 seconds, you're doing the count when he comes set. He doesn't have a whole lot much time before the batter calls time. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. So fascinating that that's how they approach it these days. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fukuda. 41 pitches so far here in the 3rd inning for the right-hander Futaki. Holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. And the count's going to remain at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sometimes when we call it a breaking ball, I have to go back and watch the replay. It was actually a split finger pitch. It has that similar humping motion that was left up in the zone. What I can't always see is the spin out of the hands. Spin is a lot different when you get a breaking ball versus that of a split finger pitch. Breaking ball, you can see the dot as the pitch is coming, a dot in the center of the ball. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is going to remain at 1-2. So when hitters see the dot coming out of the type of spin, again, that was another split finger pitch. Once we get it on the replay, you can see it. Of course, you can see it out of the hand a lot easier. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fukuda steps into the batter's box, and he's ready to go back to work. And here comes the 1-2 offering. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 2-2. Alexander Leggett asks the question. He says, how do you say our pitcher here is faring in your opinion? I assume you're asking about Futaki, the Marines right-hander. If that is the case, he's done well enough to keep hitters off balance so far to this point. If he can retire Fukuda or induce a double play here, he'll be able to keep the momentum for the Marines. So here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 2-2. The ball boy has to go and retrieve it. So I think a telltale here is going to be what happens to this hitter. The first inning, he went 1-2-3. And of course, he has got some defensive help in the second inning. I don't think any of the balls that have been put in play, the one by Sugimoto or even Yamashi here, were necessarily bullets. So he's not like he's been getting hit hard, like Tajima. Or some of Tajima's outs were loud outs. Diving back safely is the base runner Yamashi. They are concerned about Yamashi. This could be one of those situations where you could put him off on the run. It could be a strike him out, throw him out. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander holds at the belt. Now he kicks and fires. It's a split finger pitch that misses down. It's going to run the count to 3-2. Nice block there by the catcher Sato to keep that in front and keep the runner from advancing. That was a 53-foot split finger pitch. Bounced well up in front of the plate. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here comes the offering from the right-hander Futaki. It's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded up the middle, right through the pitcher. The runner was off to second on the swing, and Yamashi is going to go all the way around to third base. That is going to be a single for Fukuda. So Fukuda's got himself a single. Yamashi goes all the way around to third. That ball was hit right back up the middle. Hechavarria almost had a chance to be able to make the play actually on it. Sorry, it was the second baseman who was going over to cover the bag, who may have had a chance to make a play on it, was Nakamura. But he was stopping at the bag, and the next thing you know, the ball was just to the left of the left field side of second base as it gets into the outfield. So that puts runners on the corners with 1 gone, and that brings Kai Nakagawa to the plate. So let's go back to the question Alexander Leggett asked. He says, how would you say our pitcher's faring in your opinion? Well, this is a sign of trouble right here. So Nakagawa steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Here comes the first offering from Futaki. He kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch, misses down for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. This is the part of the batting order that you do not want to be facing. If you're the Marines right here, Nakagawa, Yoshida, and Sugimoto, you would think that the Buffaloes should come away with something in this situation. Got to at least elevate something and get a run in here from third base. Here comes the 1-0 offering to Nakagawa. Futaki delivers it as a fastball, taken for a called strike. Count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Futaki slows it down a little bit here. runners on the corners. The Chiba crowd is making their noise. Here comes the 1-1 offering as he holds at the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down. The count is now 2-1 strike to Nakagawa. Alexander Leggett says, I have no words. Yeah, well, this game here right now, I have no words either. It is gets spotted a 2-0 lead, and then he's really, really struggling to throw strikes. And when he is throwing strikes right now, the Marines are battling it off, as in that last at bat from Fukuda, fouling it off. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is hit down the left field line. It's into the corner. This is going to be trouble. Cutting it off is the left fielder Ogino. Sliding into third is the base runner Fukuda. That is going to cut into the lead, and it's going to make it 2-1 now as Yamazaki has scored. It's an RBI for Nakagawa. And the threat is not over yet, as the Buffaloes are stampeding right now in Chiba. So that is a RBI double for Nakagawa. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, I wonder if the wind is a cause, as left field is a hot spot in the game. Not sure where the wind is blowing right now, but I know that when the game had started, it was blowing from left center field across the diamond in that direction to the first base bag. That's the best way I can describe it. And here's the first pitch fastball to Yoshida. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So one would have thought that maybe balls hit in that direction would have been knocked down, but not so much. Also curious just the way the wind is reacting. There's always, every time we do a game in Chiba, the wind is always blowing like crazy. It's not that far, the stadium, from the water. Sometimes the flags are like stuck out straight. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to the right side. It is fielded by the first baseman, Inouye. He flips it to the pitcher covering, but that is going to get the second run across as Fukuda is going to score. So the ground out 3-1 is an RBI for Yoshida, advances Nakagawa over to third. And the threat is not over yet, as they've got the runner at third with 2 out, and that brings up Yutaro Sugimoto to the plate. So the Buffaloes have tied this game up at 2. So it looks like it's going to be one of those nights. Tadeguchi, the manager for the Chiba Lotte Marines, looks on. So here's the offering from Fataki. It's a split finger pitch that misses down for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to Sugimoto. Sugimoto tonight is 1 for 1. He singled his first time up. He's raised his average to 257. So the big fella here waggles the bat. Waiting on the 1-0 offering. There's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. One thing that I can say, that in between the 2 games, I didn't get anything to eat, and that might be something that we're going to be doing in the next half. Just trying to get a little bit of food. We're going to have to stay awake here, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0 on Sugimoto. Waiting on deck is the third baseman, Yumamune. Well, if they walk Sugimoto, I would fully expect that they're going to get a visit from the pitching coach. 3 balls and no strikes. In fact, I'm not sure why they just don't put him on straight away here. They're set up so far outside. He's in the left-handed batter's box. And Fataki steps off the mound. Just deliver the pitch, for crying out loud. I say that because the catcher was lined up in the left-handed batter's box. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Why they don't just hold the 4th finger up to put Sugimoto on, I don't know. because that at least will set up a situation where there's a fastball that almost goes outside the left-handed batter's box. Everything was in play except the pitch out. And that is going to walk Sugimoto. So now you got runners on the corners, and it brings Yuma Mune to the plate. For Mune, he has walked his first time up. As we mentioned before, he's having a bit of a power outage this year. He's got his average up to 270. No homers and 25 RBIs. I do like the way Mune plays. There's some players you watch them, and I do like this youngster for the Buffaloes. I say youngster, he's in his mid-20s now. Got a lot of opportunity to play last year. Had some outfield duty, but he seems to have settled in over at the hot corner at third base. So here comes the first offering to Mune. As Futaki delivers a split finger pitch, it misses down. The count is now 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The right-hander Futaki is, as Alex asked the question a little bit ago, he's like, how is he doing? Well, the word I would use now is falling apart. I don't know if he's going to even sniff the 5th inning tonight. Here comes the 1-0 offering. And he delivers a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Mune. So the runner at third is Nakagawa. The runner at first is Sugimoto. It is a 1-1 count to Mune. There's 2 dead here in the top of the 3rd inning. And here comes the offering to the left-handed hitting Mune. Kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded to the shortstop. It is knocked down by Hechavarria, but he's not going to have a play anywhere. That is going to be ruled a single and an RBI for Mune. A tough play by Hechavarria. It advances Sugimoto over to second. Nakagawa is going to score, and that is going to increase or now put the Buffaloes in front 3-2. I'm declaring it a hit. Let's take a look at that one again. That ball was hit sharply to the backhand side. Shortstop Hechavarria had to drop to one knee. Ended up going off of him as he tried to slide to stop the ball. He was able to stop it, but it just trickled by him, and everybody is safe. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Joe McCarthy. So it is now 3-2 for the Buffaloes as McCarthy stands in. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to McCarthy. Our friend Joseph Gordon says, what's the score? Joe, welcome to the game. We appreciate you for being here. We run the ticker across the bottom of the screen, but we update it at the end of the half innings. So right now, the Buffaloes have just taken a 3-2 to lead over the Marines here. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Futaki holds at the belt, he checks the runner at second, which is Sugimoto, and he delivers. There's a fastball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side. That's going to run the count to 0-2 on McCarthy. McCarthy, his first time up, was hit by a pitch. He does not have an official at bat yet in this ball game. So no balls and 2 strikes. Buffaloes have put 3 runs on the board here already in the 3rd inning, and they're looking for more. McCarthy waggles the bat, and here comes the offering from Futaki. And there's a split finger pitch that misses down in the dirt, and the count is 1-2. That was pitch number 63 in the ball game, and I think over half of them have come here in this inning. I had to do a quick count. "31 pitches in this inning alone." Joseph Gordon is asking the question, who's winning the other games? The earlier game tonight, Fukuoka knocked off the Saitama Sibu Lions 4-2. game is the only final in the NPB. The other two games in the Central League have just got underway, and if we check the out-of-town scoreboard, the game, it's 3-1 between the Fighters and the Golden Eagles. The Fighters are in the lead in the bottom of the third inning. So that gets you all the updates on the rest of the happenings around everywhere else. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is now 2-2. It was the 35th pitch of the inning, delivered by the right-hander here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to McCarthy. He's the 8th batter to come to the plate this inning against the right-hander Fataki. Alexander says the Fighters are winning at 3-1 in the bottom of the third. So here comes the 2-2 offering. And there's a fastball that is foul tipped into the mid of the catcher, and that is going to do it for McCarthy. He goes down on strikes for out number 3. So in the inning, there were 3 runs in the inning on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We're now through 2.5 innings. It is the Orix Buffaloes 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We appreciated that you guys are here. There's our friend Matt.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and your support of the channel. And in turn, we like to support another Hollis build. That's Matt Hollis. Be sure to check him out after the ball game. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with the call at the bottom of the third inning. It is a black summer weekend in Chiba, and that's why they're wearing the black jerseys with the purple trim. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom of the third inning, and coming to bat will be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Chiba. That means it's going to be Akito Takabe, Shogo Nakamura, and Seiya Inoue. For Takabe, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. Finally, the left-hander Daiki Tajima is now pitching with a lead, as they have scored those 3 runs in the top of the inning and squaring the bunt. Taking the first pitch for a called strike is Takabe, and the count is 0-1. Takabe is hitting .270 on the season with a couple of homers and 25 RBIs. He really can run the bases. He's got 29 stolen bases this year, and there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. Count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Takabe. As we mentioned, we really do appreciate everybody checking in. Had a great crowd in that first game tonight. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to third. It is fielded neatly by the third baseman Mune on his knees. He gets up and he throws to first, and that's going to retire Takabe on a ground out 5-3. The first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the second baseman Shogo Nakamura. For Nakamura, he is 1 for 1 today. He singled and stole a base back in the first inning. He steps up to the dish, ready to face the offerings from the lefty Tajima. As Tajima holds set at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Nakamura, the captain of the Marines, a longtime second baseman, is a little bit light in his batting average these days as he's hitting just over 240 as he swings at a fastball and fouls that one away, and the count is 0-2. I look at this Marines lineup, one would have to think they're going to have to start making some additions here in the next year or two. Import players of Laird and Leonis Martin are long in the tooth. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Edney Hechavarria. I like Hechavarria. I wonder how long he'll stick around in Chiba for. Came over last year and was in his second season with the Marines. 1-2 pitches, a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. Keeps the count at 1-2. Figure Ogino and Takabe, they'll still be around for a bit. They've got some game in them. Oka as well. Yudai Fujioka really struggling at the plate this year. As we mentioned before, that was one of the players that they're getting disappointment with. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Nakamura goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Seiya Inoue. So I would think that Nakamura's game is, if not at the top, it's on the way down of the top. Maybe starting the decline. They're going to have to rejig their offense a little bit. Also curious what they're going to do with Roki Sasaki. When will he get posted for the MLB? Obviously, that 100-mile-an-hour heater and a lot of hype around him. There's a breaking ball that misses down and into Inoue, and the count's 1-0. He is a legitimate major league prospect. Other pitchers who I think are prospects for the big leagues, at least from a starting standpoint, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. I really like Masato Morishita, the pitcher for the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. Our friend Joseph Gordon says, did you see the bloody UFC fight tonight between Nunez and Pena? No, we were calling this the action earlier in the other game. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-2 to Inoue. But I know that some of our listeners were keenly attuned to what was going on in the UFC fights. There's also the fake wrestling tonight. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. They call it the fake wrestling, the stage wrestling, WWE. I think it was their SummerSlam. I think it was Brock Lesnar. They said got beat up pretty good in that one. Not only did he get pinned, he got tabled and whatever else. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Inoue has gone on strikes for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the third inning. There was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 3 complete. It is the Orix Buffaloes 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a couple moments. Just going to put the sound on loop here as we will be back. We're going to go grab ourselves a drink of water and a little bit of food. So hang tight. We'll be right back here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8-9-1 hitters in the batting order for Orix. The first pitch delivered to Kotaro Kobayashi is a fastball that misses up and in for ball one, and the count is 1-0. Kobayashi, Wakatsuki, and Yamashi here to face the right-hander Futaki in the top of the fourth inning. We'll have to update our little ticker across the bottom, as it is now the top of the fourth. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-1. Trying to make a mad dash for a little bit of food here as we're into game number 3 that we've called today. This game was not on our schedule as we were going to be looking to do a couple of the major league games tomorrow, but we had so much fun doing the first game, we said, let's stick around and do 2 NPB games. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2 Kobayashi. Ask me if that was the right decision in another hour, and I'll let you know. As it is going to be a tired morning tomorrow. There's a 1-2 pitch. That is a split finger pitch that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-2 to Kobayashi. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch that misses down and away, and it squirts away from the catcher Sato, and that's going to run the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kobayashi. And the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball swung on, is grounded softly over to short. It is fielded by Hechavarria. He throws to first, and Kobayashi has gone on a ground out 6-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the catcher Kenya Wakatsuki. For Wakatsuki tonight, he is 0 for 1. He has flown out to center field his first time up. His average is dipped to 293 on the season. He is 29 for 99. This will be his, or potentially will be his 100th at bat of the year. So he gets himself dug in, ready to face the first offering from Futaki. 66 pitches through 3 innings for the Chiba right-hander, and there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Most of those pitches coming in the 3rd inning, it seemed like, or at least half of them were. And here comes the 0-1 offering, and there's a split finger pitch that misses down and in. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Always get a kick out of folks that jump in and want to know what the score is when the ticker runs across the bottom. There's a fastball that misses down. The count is 2-1 to Wakatsuki. It's one of my favorite pieces of doing the game. You get all kinds of folks that come in, and we love having everybody come in. That makes it all fun. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded softly to third. Fujioka fields it. He throws over to first, and that is going to retire Wakatsuki on a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Tetsuya Yamashi. But it looks like the bots are done for the night, at least at this point. We were laughing before how the bots would start coming in when we had the larger audience. So you never really make it until you got a bot coming into your stream. So Yamashi steps to the plate, and he takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yamashi tonight has singled in 2 trips to the plate. He also scored a run last inning. He is now 2 for 19 on the season. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. That one there may have been a breaking ball. Hard to tell sometimes, as we said. On that slow motion there, that looked more of a 12-6 variety with the spin. And there is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded up the middle through the legs of the pitcher. Hechavarria fields it on the run to the right field side of second base, but it's not going to be there in time, and that is going to be a base hit for Yamashi. It's going to be his second hit of the ball game, and now he's 3 for 20 on the year. He grounded that one right back through the pitcher. Pitcher reached down to try to field it. It deflected off his glove, slowed it down as Hechavarria went to field the ball. He fielded it to the right field side of second base, but there was no time to be able to catch Yamashi. As he is aboard with a 2-out single, and that's going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda. For Fukuda, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He singled and scored a run his last time up. He's also flown to center. And here's the first offering. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. He's raised his season average to 275 in this one with the hit his last time up. Our friend Mick asked the question. He says, what are you grubbing on? Well, not much. Just have a pita bread. That's all I've got right here that we're being able to do. I didn't get a chance to make a full slate of meal. I had ramen in between games. There's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Alexander says, getting a little cranky. Yeah, probably because we haven't had enough to eat. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Brandon is appreciative of the stream, and we're appreciative that you're hanging in with us. So here comes the 1-1 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. I often said when they say, how many people would you like in your stream, or how many people do you like? I've seen streams where different things. People got 200-300 people in the chat, maybe more. The chat just goes by so fast. You can't even keep up with the chat. Anybody does, even to just pick 1 or 2 things out to say. It's just moving by at a rapid pace. We had that on opening night, or it was the second night of the season. Absolutely crazy. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-2 on Fukuda. So I always say if we had about 20 to 30 people in the stream and you got about 10 people that are chatting it up, that works out great. So 2 balls and 2 strikes keeps everybody engaged, everybody talking, especially if they've got the bets that are going on. Mick says, make some warm tea. We already had the tea actually to start the ball game. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded through the 4-hole into right field, just past the outstretched arm of the second baseman, Nakamura. And Fukuda has got himself a single. That's going to put runners on the corners. That's going to bring up Kai Nakagawa to the plate. So all this trouble has started with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. And Nakagawa steps to the plate. This is looking very eerily similar to the last half inning where Nakagawa doubled home the first run of the ball game for the Marines. So Nakagawa steps to the plate, and that's going to bring the pitching coach out to the mound. Our friend Mick says should be able to do that. Our friend Brandon says he's on Orix and Hanshin tonight. As we take a quick peek at that out-of-town scoreboard, it is 1-0 for the Carp over Chinichi, and it's 0-0 with the Tigers and the Swallows in the bottom of the second. It is still 3-1 for the Fighters. That's in the top of the 5th now over in Tohoku. This game here tonight, it's the battle of the 3rd and the 5th place teams. Chiba is in 5th right now. They're 3 games back of the Saitama Cebu Lions. There's a fastball that misses. Check that. We're back at it here in the live action. As we got the replay going on here. So that fastball missed upstairs for Nakagawa on the first pitch, so 1-0. So here comes the pitch as he highlighted his double down the line. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted to right center field, drifting back on it on the warning track and making the catch is Oka up against the wall, and that is going to do it as Nakagawa sent it for a ride, just not far enough. And he is retired for the 3rd out of the inning. There was no runs. There were 2 hits. No errors and 2 runners left aboard. That is 6 left on board here for the Buffaloes through the first 4 innings. We're moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is the Orix Buffaloes 3, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us. Lots of baseball left here tonight or this morning, depending where you're at. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Just have to get that dry pita out of our mouth here as we are going to see Brandon Laird coming to bat here in the fourth inning. It'll be Laird, Hechavarria, and Sato. It's the price you pay when you're having to have a couple mouthfuls of food in between innings. Probably not the wisest choice of dry pita. There's a first pitch that is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Brandon Laird. The other choice of that was some grapes or possibly even some fresh Washington cherries. A fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1 to Laird. Laird, Hechavarria, and Sato here in the bottom of the fourth inning as the Marines are trailing 3-2 to the Buffaloes. Alexander Leggett says, I bet too much on the Marines when they were winning in the first and should have waited to see what the Buffs did at bat. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Laird skips out of the way. I'm going to see here what the deal is. Laird looks like he was reaching for his lower back on that swing. You can see he grimaced on that one. He reached right for his lower back after he took the swing, and he's kind of hopping a little bit. We'll have to keep our eye on this to see if Laird is going to stay in the game after this one. He's going to stay here and hit. Whatever he did, he wrenched his back a little bit. So here comes the 1-2 offering from Tajima. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 2-2. Our friend Brandon Castro says it's still a long game. You're absolutely correct. Lots of time left in this one. As here comes the 2-2 offering from lefty to Tajima, and that's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 3-2. Alexander says, I did the first 5-run line. So no, already lost the race to 3 runs. So here comes the offering. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Racing back is the center fielder, and making the catch is Fukuda on the warning track. And that is going to retire Laird for the first out of the inning. He set it for a ride, but just not far enough. That is going to bring up the shortstop, Edney Hechavarria. Fukuda was able to haul that one in just at the foot of the warning track. So Laird is going to go have a seat, and then he's going to have a conversation with the trainer. They're checking in to see how he's doing here. Based on that swing, probably not all that bad. It was a first pitch breaking ball that drops into Hechavarria, and the count is 0-1. Hechavarria tonight is 1 for 1. He doubled and scored a run his last time up. It was the bottom part of the batting order that did the damage to get that second run. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is tapped foul over by the third base coach's box, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, for those of you who weren't listening in on the first game, we are going to be doing games every single night this week. We'll be doing the late night stuff in the Japanese League. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Hechavarria goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that is now going to be 7 retired in a row by Tajima. He's started to find his groove. We're going to call every single night. Yeah, Alexander says, yeah. So that'll be the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday games in Japan. But a week from tonight, we're not going to be able to do anything. So here's the first offering. It is a fastball delivered to Sato. Take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. And then after that, it'll be back to the weekends for a couple of weekends until we take a little hiatus for 10 days. There's a fastball that misses down and away. Count is 1-1. And we're looking at the month of September to return and to do the whole month of September after the 6th. As there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count's now 1-2 to Sato. As we'll look to call games all through the month of September. So here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. The count is now 2-2. Fataki is still throwing now out front of the home team dugout, so it looks like he's going to be coming back in for a 5th inning of work. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 3-2 to Sato. So it'll keep us hopping through the night for the NPB crowd. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Tajima holds at the belt, and he delivers. And there is a fastball swung on and tap foul. It's going to keep the count at 3-2 to Sato. So if we can get through some of those calls, then will put us in good position moving into the month of October for some fall baseball. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is grounded up the middle. It's fielded by the second baseman, Yamashi, who throws off of 1 foot, and that is going to retire Sato on a ground out 4-3. A nice play by the second baseman. And that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the 4th inning. So there was no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 4 complete. It is the Orix Buffaloes leading the Chiba Lotte Marines 3-2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a couple moments. We're glad you guys are with us. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher once again. Back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give our channel. And in turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out, whether it's Money Monday, Takeover Tuesday. He brought back his No Filter Friday or his Saturday morning cartoons. He's got something for everybody. Check him out after the game. It is going to be the heart of the Orix batting order coming up to bat here in the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Masataka Yoshida, Yataro Sugimoto, and Yuma Mune. For Yoshida, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight, but he knocked in a run his last time up. He's batting .313 on the year. As we said, there's not too many players with qualified at-bats in the Pacific League hitting north of 300. But Yoshida is one of them. And so here's the first offering. There's the breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Yoshida. Yoshida hitting from the left side. As I say, every time when we watch these Marines, he really reminds me of a left-handed hitting Alex Bregman, as there's a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. Just the way that he stands at the plate, the way that he holds the bat. He seems to be a little more relaxed this year than he has been in years past. Some of the other years, he really holds the bat tight. Looks like he's really, really squeezing it. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 2-1. Defensively, he is not exactly the most nimble player when he plays left field. He's a defensive liability in a lot of ways. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And he runs averagely, I would say, for an outfielder of his ilk. But boy, he can sure swing the bat. And there's a breaking ball swung on it. It's grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by Nakamura. He throws to first. Yoshida is gone on a ground out 4-3 for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Yataro Sugimoto. For Sugimoto tonight, he is 1 for 1. He's also walked. He was caught stealing back in the second inning. The big fella is hitting .257 on the season. And here comes the first offering from Futaki. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. The wind has changed direction. When the game first started, it was blowing from left center field over towards the first base dugout. Now it looks like it is blowing straight in. As that last pitch misses down, and the count is now 1-1. Or check that. The count was a late strike. It's 0-2. Our friend Sauce-Up Game is in the house. He's over on Twitch, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Sugimoto for the second out of the inning as he is gone, and that is going to leave it all up to Yumamune. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says, I woke up to see my under on the Fukuoka game hit. Congratulations to you. This is a late one for us. We weren't sure we were going to make the call on this one. In fact, we were doing that game. We had so much fun doing the game before. We said, hey, if this game could finish early, we'll add this one to the schedule. And sure enough, we did. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Mune. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says, do you think the Tigers are going to trade anyone this year? And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-1. I do think the Tigers are going to make some moves. Nothing earth-shattering, but I can see some teams looking to acquire some pitching from the Tigers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. Gregory Soto, Michael Fulmer. I definitely see Andrew Chafin being moved, the lefty out of the pen. My challenge with the Tigers is I don't think they've got the right person in place in Alex Avila to be able to pull the trigger to make the right trades. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses inside. The count is now 3-1. When you look at the trade that the Tigers made for Justin Verlander, 3 players they got in return were duds. When you look at the trade that the Cleveland organization got for the Mike Clevenger, they got a boatload, and there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count is now 3-2. And of course, when you look at who they got in return and what the Tigers got, it was an absolute fleecing. Houston Astros had fleeced the Tigers, given them a couple of lemons and everything else. There's a fastball that misses down, and that is going to be ball 4 to Mune. He has got himself a 2-out walk, and that is going to bring up the first baseman, Joe McCarthy. So for McCarthy tonight, he is officially 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he struck out back in the third inning. Our friend Sauce-Up Game says, I don't want to trade Skubal. I think that would be a mistake. He's under team control. He's a left-hander. He's basically the ace of your staff. Not at this point, I'd be looking to move the lefty unless they know something we don't from the medical charts. Throwing over to first base is the right-hander Futaki, and diving back is Mune. Alexander says it makes you wonder about the motivation of some teams that are sometimes with the trades like they don't want to win. And Troy says, okay, I switched to YouTube now. There he is. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is no balls and 1 strike to McCarthy. Laughing about it because when I think of the Tigers and what they've done, it's, as I said, it's going to be a challenge about what they're going to do. I think one thing is we may not want to admit it, but the building of the Little Caesars Arena has probably impacted the Tigers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-2. The Red Wings are also owned by the Ilitch family. They put a lot of money into that rink over there, and so getting that thing paid off, even though you may want to figure that the Tigers and the Red Wings are run independently, they are the sporting operations of the Ilitch Empire. Until the Red Wings start filling up the stands and bringing in the revenue, the Tigers are looking at that hole. There's a base hit into center field. Ball is going to get up the middle, and that is going to stop Mune at second base. Joe McCarthy's got himself a base hit, and that's going to bring up Katara Kirbiashi. So this is all, again, starting to come here with 2 outs. Yoshida, the runner at Yoshida and Sugimoto retired, and then Mune with a double and a single by McCarthy. Our friend Troy says, good pitchers over good hitters absolutely all day long. That's what's going to win ball games. Good pitching beats good hitting. Our friend also, there's a fastball that misses outside. Mick says a family biz type-ish. Yeah, it's a problem. Troy says, I sent you a tip to your PayPal for the advice on the Fukuoka game. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate you that. There's that fastball missed outside on Kirbiashi. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So we don't ask for money, but we always appreciate it when it's sent. Never can turn it down. I always say I can buy you a cup of coffee, or when you add it all up together, maybe it's a steak dinner down the trail. So 1 ball and 1 strike to right-handed hitting Kirbiashi. Hopefully we can provide everybody the enjoyment that they want by listening to the games, and it gives them some insight on what we're doing here. And there's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2. That's the one thing about Major League Baseball games when you're watching the games. They never ever want to talk about the odds or the gambling. And that's the kind of the fun part of YouTube here is that, yeah, we're calling the game, but we can also engage in some of that stuff where when you think about Major League Baseball, the NFL, all the major sports, it's always been rather taboo to talk about that stuff. But it goes on regular. I mean, they talk about it pregame. They don't talk about it during the game. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. Alexander Leggett says his suffering continues. Only if you get hit in the neck with a foul ball would your suffering continue. Or unless the Washington Nationals deal Juan Soto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It is to the shortstop Kirbiashi. Buffaloes are looking to try to add to their lead here as there's 2 gone in the top of the 5th and runners at first and second. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is looped into shallow center field. It's going to get down. It's played by the center fielder who comes up throwing, and the throw is not going to be in time. Takedo Takabe threw the ball. It was on the money, but the runner, Mune, was able to come all the way around to score, as that is going to increase the lead to 4-2 on the single by Kirbiashi. Stopping at second is McCarthy. So a base hit and an RBI for the Orix shortstop. And that is going to leave it all up to the catcher, Kenya Wakatsuki. Unfortunately for the starter, Fataki here, he got himself into trouble again with 2 out. He got the first 2 out in the 4th inning. And then he ended up allowing a couple of base hits. He wiggled out of that jam. He Got the first out in the third inning, but then the next three batters got hits and then ended up all coming around to score. So that has been the tail of the tape here for the Chiba right-hander, who is up to 108 pitches now. Here comes the first offering to Wakatsuki. There is a fastball swung on and grounded foul, and the count is 0-1. Troy says, how's the bullpens rank in the league, like first or last? If I'm not mistaken, the Saitama Cebu Lions have the best bullpen right now in the Pacific League. I really like Fukuoka's. I don't know where they fit in, but they got to be right behind them. But Chiba's bullpen is a little bit shaky. In fact, maybe more than a little bit. And Orix, their bullpen is fairly decent. They can lock it down. There's a fastball that misses outside. So the count is now 1-1 strike to Wakatsuki. So if I had to tell you, with the lead here with the Buffaloes, they can turn it over to the pen and pretty much finish this one out. Our friend Mick says Julio Jones signing to the Bucks adds more favorite to Brady's squad to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, a little bit of an eyebrow raiser, especially for the former Falcon. The Atlanta fans seeing him sign in Tampa. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-2. I haven't followed the football stuff so tightly, but I was going to ask, where did Matt Ryan end up? Is he still in Atlanta, or did he end up going to Indianapolis? Throw that out to the listeners. As it's 1-2 strikes to Wakatsuki. Our friend Troy says he bought the fiery chili lime chips that are supposed to be super hot. He was disappointed, said they weren't even spicy. There's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2. So he did go to the Colts. Okay. You know, I think Matt Ryan could go there and really do some damage for the Colts. Kind of like when they had that quarterback, Andrew Luck, that came over there for a little bit. Like he was doing all right. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to left field. It's down for a base hit. It is fielded by the left fielder. Here comes the throw to the plate. And it is in time, and McCarthy is going to be tagged out. He thinks that he got in there in time, and they're going to go look at the review. But I think that is more of a formality. The manager, got to give the manager of the Buffaloes credit. He hopped over top like a hockey player, jumping over the boards. He was so excited he wanted to see that review. But we're going to get the review anyway. It was a great throw to cut him down. The three umpires are going down the tunnel to have a look. In my esteemed opinion, the ball beat him there, and the tag was reasonable. You should be gone. We're going to get the replay of it here. We'll see if Joe McCarthy has a case. It was a good throw by the left fielder, Ogino, as he delivered it to the plate. It'll be interesting to see. There's the tag. The throw was in time. Did he get the tag onto the leg in time, or did McCarthy get around it? McCarthy thinks he beat it there, because the ball was definitely in time. And I think, McCarthy, you're a dead duck, because it looked like the tag applied to his left leg. So I'm going to say that call is going to be upheld. We'll wait till the umpires come back, and then we'll be able to make our decision after this. But probably not the worst thing to send the runner, because it was a bang-bang play at the plate. Let's see what the umpires are going to decide. Oh, that's a quick decision. They're coming back out here. And here comes the decision, and it is going to be an out at home plate. So that is going to be a base hit for Wakatsuki. It is going to cut down McCarthy 7-2 for the third out of the inning. For the Buffaloes in their half of the fifth, they got a run in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of the fifth inning. It is a 4-2 ball game. We'll be right back, everybody, with the call here of the bottom of the fifth when we return. Appreciate y'all for being here. Hang tight. We got Marines baseball coming back in a minute.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming to bat for Chiba in the 5th inning. That means Hiromi Oka, Yudai Fujioka, and Takashi Ojino to come to bat. The wind has changed yet again. It is not necessarily blowing in from straightaway center field. It's more blowing from left center in. But it is more left center towards the first base bag as the game is about to resume. The sun has gone down in Chiba and the lights are in full effect. So Oka, Fujioka, and Ojino here for the Marines in the bottom half of the 5th inning. The starter Daiki Tajima has really settled down. He has retired the last 8 batters he has faced. So he's ready to go back to work, and the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside for ball 1, and the count is 1-0 to Oka. 67 pitches now for the left-hander Tajima. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. It's been a fun ball game here tonight, and we're keeping it going here. If there's another game, maybe we should call that one too. Actually, no, we're not going to be doing that. We'll be calling it a night. 3 balls and no strikes to Oka. It's been a hot last few days here in the Pacific Northwest. There's a fastball that is missed inside, and that is going to be a leadoff walk to Oka as he's aboard for the 2nd time tonight, and that's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Yudai Fujioka. Troy says the Rays are going to get David Peralta, and they're going to love him. That is a pure rental, by the way. I do not see Peralta sticking around for another year. He's in the final year of his deal, and with Kiermaier and Zunino gone for the rest of the year, he'll fill the void in there nicely. And also Manny Margot. I don't know if Manny Margot is scheduled to come back this year or not, but I did read that Zunino and Kiermaier are finished. I think he'll get in there, and I don't think he'll skip a beat. In fact, he'll probably light it up more than he did when he was in Arizona. There's a fastball that misses upstairs to Fujioka, and the count is 1-0. The Rays do not miss on their trades. When the Rays make a trade, they just seem to be able to hit on everything. I think my concern for the Rays this year is their pitching. Tyler Glasnow out. I was looking at that Ryan Yarborough, who pitched pretty well last couple of seasons. He's having an abysmal year this year by his standards. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Fujioka. We're going to have to keep our eye here on the base runner Oka, but with the lefty on the mound, I would think that possibly I would have thought that maybe Fujioka would have been bunting, even though they're down 4-2. Any way to claw it back, and there Tajima steps off the mound and he flicks one over to first base. Diving back is the base runner Oka. Troy says they finesse people. Either that or they put them to sleep. Whatever it is down in the Trop, they get it done. Well, you think of the acquisition of Isak Paredes for Meadows and the competitive balance pick. And there's a first pitch fastball swung on Or 1-1 fastball swung on. This is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Fujioka has got himself a single. Oka advances over to second, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Takashi Ogino. So Ogino is coming up to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He homered to lead off the ball game for Chiba. He's flown to left field, and now they got runners at first and second. I'm curious to see how they're going to play this one out. That really helps Fujioka because he was stinking it up at the plate entering tonight's game as he was batting 169. So Gino steps up to the plate, who, as we said, he's 1 for 2. He's got the homer and an RBI, and he's also flown out to left field. And here comes the first offering from Tajima. And he squares the bunt, and he pulls back, and he takes that first pitch for a ball upstairs. Count is 1-0. Our friend Troy says the Marines are in business here. Yes, they are. If they don't come, you'd like to think that they should be able to come away with 2 runs here in this inning and tie it back up. Well, that's going to depend on what Ogino's able to do here. Are they going to be able to sack? He is squaring the bunt, and the ball is down, but it is a foul ball as it hits him in the box. That's going to run the count to 1-1. Almost looks like Ogino's trying to push his way on here. I'd rather see him get up in the box and sacrifice rather than stay deep in the box and try to push or drag. The corners are in, but the middles are in double play depth. As they're looking to turn 2 up the middle. See if both the corners are crashing, though. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on it. It's grounded to third. Mune gets it, steps on the bag at third. He fires across the diamond, and it's a double play. What a fantastic play by Mune. Unbelievable. Great play by Mune. The ball was driven hard at him. Able to pick it up, takes 2 steps back toward the bag, steps on the base at third, fires across the diamond. And that is a double play. Fujioka is safe at second. What a unbelievable reaction by the third baseman. Great play. And that is going to put the runner at second base with 2 gone, and that's going to bring up Akito Takabe. So Takabe tonight is 0 for 2. He's flown out to left, and he is grounded to third. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Troy says Aaron Judge is having a crazy run right now. I think I heard he hit his 43rd tonight. That is really, really impressive. Well, even the way the Yankees won, not last night's game, but the Friday night game in New York by coming out of the rain delay and scoring 8 in the bottom of the 8th. And there's a ball that is swung on. It is grounded up the middle. Oh, my goodness. What a piece of boneheaded base running and a great heads-up play. Ball was grounded up the middle. The second baseman, Yamashi, backhands the ball. He had no play to first base. He threw over to third with the anticipation that the runner, Fujioka, would round the bag, and that's exactly what happened. He overran the bag at third as if he was going home, and they end up tagging him out. A great heads-up play by the second baseman. That ball was taking him into right field. Mune gets it, and he's able to make the tag on the third baseman, or on the runner who couldn't get back to third, and that is going to be a fielder's choice. I'm going to have to see if they're going to rule that as a hit because he had already got the bag at third base. But regardless, that is going to put away the base runner Fujioka for the third out of the inning. Well, they squander opportunities. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left the board. We are now through 5. It is 4-2. That was an unbelievable play. If you aren't watching it live, be sure to be able to check it out on Instagram after the game. That was absolutely massive. Hang tight, everybody. It's our proverbial Japanese halftime. We'll be back in a few minutes after this.
guys, Steve Rademacher. Hello, guys, Steve Rademacher coming at you. I'm having my 500 subscriber giveaway if we get there by the end of this year. That's my name and my channel, Steve Rademacher. All you have to do is be publicly subscribed, and then you can enter to win once we hit the magic number. Either an unopened, still sealed box of Star Trek official trading cards, Next Generation and Original Series. If that's not your cup of tea, we have Fleer Adrenaline with a Deerdick rookie card. I have pulled out an autograph from one of these, and there are relics. If that's not your thing, how about an unopened box of 1987 Donruss Baseball? Just come watch me, subscribe, and enjoy the show. Thank you.
It's a 4-2 lead for the Buffaloes as we're going to go to the top of the sixth inning. We like to call this our proverbial Japanese halftime. We'll be back in a couple minutes as they are cleaning the field and getting ready for the back half of this one. 4-2 is the score. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Fumiya Ono coming into the ball game. This is going to be his 40th appearance of the year. He has pitched in 39 ball games. He's worked 36 innings. He's allowed 30 hits, 15 walks. He has struck out 31. He's conceded 9 runs. 8 of them have been earned, and he's got an ERA of 2.00. So the 25-year-old is on in relief as he is taking over here. I can say last year I did enjoy watching Ono pitch, and he's even having a better year this year than he did last year, as he's probably going to be setting career highs in a number of different categories. So he is on in relief. And who is he going to be facing? Well, he's going to be facing the top part of the batting order. It is going to be Yamashi, Fukuda, and Nakagawa, the 1, 2, 3 hitters in the batting order. And so ready to resume the action. As Yamashi, who made that great play in the last inning, is up here to bat first. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yamashi now 3 for 20 on the season. He's got a pair of hits tonight. He's also scored a run and struck out. And here comes the 0-1 offering from Ono, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So we were talking a little bit earlier about the crowd we had in the first game. Unbelievable. Really enjoyed being able to make that call for everybody as we have some others that stuck around for this one. There's a fastball swung on. This was lined down the right field line, but it's just going to slice foul into the corner. And that is going to keep the count at no balls and 2 strikes. I know our friend Troy was lamenting earlier about Matt Shepard. I have to admit, I really don't know a whole lot about Shepard. I know I used to be more local when it was still in Pemba and Rod Allen. We're calling the Tiger games. If you guys are interested, Rod Allen used to play for the Hiroshima Carp. I think I told the story before. You can check it out on YouTube as there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Yamashi has gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that's going to bring up Shuhei Fukuda. For Fukuda, he is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of singles. He's scored a run, and he's flown out to center. So 2 for 3 tonight for Fukuda. We mentioned if you search on YouTube for Rod Allen Japan fight, he gets hit by a pitch, and he chases the pitcher. I think it was the Chinichi Dragons who they were playing. And he chased the pitcher all the way around the field, ended up in left field. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is looped softly into left field. Moving over underneath it is Ogino, and he's going to make the catch. And there's 2 outs, 2 quick outs right here in the 6th inning. And that is going to bring up the left fielder, Kai Nakagawa. Nakagawa is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a double. He's knocked in a run. He scored a run. He's also struck out and flown out to right. But Rod Allen absolutely loses it. And his eyes are all white. You can see how his eyeballs, when you see the people get crazy, and you can just see the whites of their eyes are just massive. Like they're just right there. That was definitely Rod Allen in that situation. There's a fastball that misses outside to Nakagawa for ball 1, and the count's 1-0. But when he and Mario Mpemba were doing the Tiger games, the broadcasts on television, they were, I thought, a pretty good crew. And, of course, until they got into that fight in Chicago, there's a split finger pitch that misses down, and the count is now 2-0. Just because you work together doesn't mean you have to be best buddies or best friends, and that is the case sometimes. You think of different guys that have played their long-time careers together, and just because they're teammates doesn't mean they hang out afterwards. Here's the 2-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 3-0. I remember having some good chemistry with players in different sports when I was in high school, and your teammates on the field, and you got things done, but off the field, I didn't want to be around a couple of the guys, and they didn't want to be around me. It's just the way it is. Just because you're friends or you play well together on the court doesn't mean you're always buddies off the court or on the field. There's a fastball that's taken on the inside corner, and the count's now 3-1. The reason I say court is think about that for basketball. I had a teammate of mine who was a really good basketball player. We had pretty good chemistry in the positions we played. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Coming in on it is the right fielder, Oka. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire the Orix Buffaloes here in the 6th inning. As they go quickly in order, 1, 2, 3. So Ono comes in and does a great job. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 4-2 ball game. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. If you're watching the game on TV, you're going to get a chance. They're going to do something like the Atlanta Braves do. They got a guy who's going to try to run somebody down in this race here. They give them the head start, and they're going to get them going. Hang tight. We'll be right back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving now to it's going to be the bottom of the 6th inning. And for those of you who maybe aren't watching but are only listening to us, so in between the top of the 6th and the bottom of the 6th, the way it worked was they had a race where almost like they do in Atlanta, I think they call them the freeze or the flash or whatever it is. They give a fan a head start, and they got to run the warning track all the way to the finish line. It was the Atlanta Brave guy who dresses up in a suit, and he has to chase him down and catch him. world-class type of sprinter. Anyways, that's what went on here in Chiba in between innings. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Shogo Nakamura that he takes for a ball upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Nakamura today is 1 for 2. So he takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. Nakamura singled in the first and stole second, then he struck out in the third. As Tajima holds at the belt, and he's ready to deliver again. He kicks and fires. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Alexander Leggett says he tried so hard to win. He actually was moving pretty good for a young fella. I thought he had a good gait. Didn't look like he was all that old, but that sprinter just caught him and just blew right by him. The fastball swung on. This ball is belted down the right field line, and it is going to land foul. That's going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the wind is changing again. The always changing wind. It looks like it's blowing again in from left field. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike, and Nakamura stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched it go by for out number 1. As he is retired here for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Seiya Inoue. For Inoue tonight, he has struck out his first 2 times up. He is 0 for 2. So Inoue has seen his average slip to 260. The first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Inoue. Here comes the offering from Tajima. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded softly over to first. Fielded neatly by the first baseman, McCarthy, and he goes over and steps on the bag, and that is going to retire Inoue for the second out of the inning. It's a ground out to 3. That'll bring up the first, or the designated hitter, scheduled to bring up the designated hitter, Brandon Laird. We'll keep our eye on this one, as Laird had taken a swing and had a twinge in his back the last time up. Let's see if he stays in the game. Get that deep fly ball to center field. But yes, he is. He's still here. He's ready to hit. So Laird steps in, hitting from the right side against the left-hander Tajima. Kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Laird. Laird's average has dipped to 202. He's 0 for 2 tonight with the ground out to third and that deep fly ball to center field. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. I have to say, Kenya Wakatsuki really gets tiny behind the plate there. He drops down to that one knee. He really wants to pitch low. He's keep wanting the lefty to keep it down. There's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul. The count is now 1-2 to Laird. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Laird digs himself in. He waggles the bat. And he's waiting on the 1-2 offering from the lefty Tajima. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul down the right field line. It's going to reach the seats. It's going to keep the count at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Joseph Gordon asked the question, what's the temperature there in Chiba? There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to second. It is fielded neatly by Yamashi. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out 4-3 for out number 3, and that is going to do it here for the Marines in their half of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We'll be back in just a moment with the call at the top of the 7th inning. Hang tight over there, Joseph. I'll get you that when we return after this. We're glad you guys are with us.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. and Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you, Dave, and the support you give to our channel. We'll be back in just a moment with the call just after this. Welcome back, everybody. We have our friend, the random guy in the house, says, I understand balls and strikes, but what's the 2 count on the right edge? And so I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to. Are you referring to the game itself, or are you referring to something different? And so I'm not 100% sure what you're asking for, as we do have a pitching change that is coming in, and I'll try to help you out, get a better understanding of your question. It is Tayron Guerrero coming in relief here. The big fella is taken over from Fumiya Ono, who had a pretty easy 6th inning. So Guerrero is coming in the ball game as the right-hander takes over here. I'll come back to you, our friend random guy, if he qualifies that a little bit more. So Guerrero this season is working his 38th appearance. He's got 3 wins and 3 losses. He's also got 3 saves. 35 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 27 hits, 13 walks, struck out 44. He's conceded 15 runs, 14 have been earned. He's got an ERA of 3.57. So Guerrero on in relief. He'll be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Chiba Lotte Marines. Our friend Joseph asked what the temperature is there. It is a balmy 89 degrees. They say with the humidity, it feels like it's 100. The high earlier today was in the 90s. As the temperature is cooling off, it can get very, very hot in Japan in places, and also very humid. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. To Masataka Yoshida. It'll be the heart of the Buffalo batting order, as it'll be Yoshida, Sugimoto, and Mune to come to bat here in the top half of the 7th inning. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 0-2. So if the random eye is asking the question, he says, I understand balls and strikes, but what's the 2 count on the right edge? So I'm not sure what he was referring to in that. So there's a fastball that is spiked down and it gets by the catcher. It's going to run the count to 1-2 on Yoshida. Catcher Sato slid over trying to block it, and he ends up taking one off the forearm. I'm not so sure. I've always said that some coaches will tell catchers, you got to block everything, but you're not set up to block everything if you're in a receiving stance, and he tried to block that last one and ended up getting him almost hurt there. And there's a fastball swung on and missed. And Yoshida goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Yatara Sugimoto. For Sugimoto, he is 2 for 3 tonight. Check that. He's 1 for 2 tonight. He's also drawn a walk. He's been on base 2 out of 3 times. He singled and was caught stealing back in the 2nd. He walked, was stranded at 2nd in the 3rd, and then he struck out in the 5th. First pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Sugimoto batting from the right side against the right-hander Guerrero. Kicks and delivers. It is a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. When you watch Guerrero pitch, he's all arms and legs. He's a big man. He stands about 6'8". There's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner. Runs the count to 1-2. When he has his leg lift, it's all arms and legs flying from everywhere. The ball just explodes out of his hand. Here comes the 1-2 offering. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Sugimoto is gone on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. For Mune tonight, he has been all over the offensive score sheet. He's singled, he's driven in a run, he's walked a couple of times and scored a run. So 1 for 1 officially, but on base 3 times. So Guerrero ready to go back at it. Mune digs in, and now as Guerrero was waiting for Mune, steps off the backside of the rubber, and he's going to reset himself. And so here comes the first offering to Mune. Guerrero holds at the chest, and he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that misses down and in. The count is 1-0 to Mune. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander Guerrero kicks and delivers. It is a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Yuma Mune. So Mune waiting on the offering here from Guerrero. Waggles the bat, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and missed. That last pitch was at 97 miles an hour, as he blew that one right by the left-handed hitting third baseman for the Buffaloes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Again, Guerrero holds at the chest, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul on the first base line, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2. The big problem tonight for the starter, Fataki, was every time he seemed to get 2 outs. That was when the trouble started. Even in a couple of the other innings, he would get 1 out, and the next thing you know is there would be all kinds of stuff. So Mune is the one now. The umpire is not asking for time. Mune is trying to get himself set, and he ends up holding up the stop sign for Guerrero. That was kind of a funny moment. If I'm Guerrero, I'd probably drill him right here. And here's the pitch. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That is going to be a base hit as Mune wins the battle, as he got himself a single there, and he is aboard for the 4th time tonight. So he gets himself a single. That's going to bring up Joe McCarthy. McCarthy, he is 1 for 2. He's also been hit by a pitch tonight. Our friend Joseph Gordon asked, who's the best pitcher in this league right now? Well, that could be up for debate on many fronts, but the ones I personally like, Roki Sasaki is the one that is the 20-year-old who threw the perfect game earlier this year. I would think that in the next couple of years, he'll be the next big thing coming to North America. The first pitch fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-0 to McCarthy. The pitcher for the Orix Buffaloes, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, a starter. He can bring it up mid-upper 90s. He's also fun to watch, but I don't really see him as a major league prospect. And Guerrero steps off the back of the rubber, and getting back to first base is Mune. Reason for that is he's a bit of a diminutive righty, a small righty by big league standards. When you think of small righties, you think of guys that are 6'2" and under. That's kind of your definition. Well, Yamamoto, I don't even know if he's 5'10". There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. But I also think that Masahiro Morishita, or is it? Masahiro Morishita for the Carp is a plus arm. He sits mid-90s. He'd be another one that would be an attractive piece coming to Major League Baseball. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count is now 2-1. When I look at the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, there's nobody there that to me is dominant. They've got a lot of good pitchers, but there's nobody that you just drool over. Our friend Troy says, Roki, next superstar Detroit Tiger. Well, problem with Roki Sasaki is the problem with the Tigers is that they probably will never be able to see Sasaki. So 2 balls and 1 strike, and here's the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats on the third base side, and that's going to run the count even at 2-2 to McCarthy. I don't have anybody with the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters these days. They've already been drained by Major League Baseball as Yu Darvish, Shohei Ohtani, and Kohei Arihara all left the Fighters to go to the big leagues. My eyes, they don't have anybody there right now that's worth talking about. As a big league prospect, that is. So here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a split finger pitch, misses down. Off the second goes the runner. And sliding in safely is going to be Mune. He's got himself a stolen base. So Mune steals the base. It goes to 3-2 to McCarthy. It's Mune's 4th stolen base of the year. Good pitch to run on as that pitch was a breaking ball down. The throw down to second was high. Interesting slide by Mooney. He actually overslid the bag. It was his back foot that ended up getting in there safely. Alexander said, Tohoku, you said? Yeah, I don't see anybody there at this point that I would say is a dominating arm. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 3-2. I think a Chiba here. I don't think anybody outside of Sasaki. Saitama Cebu Lions. I don't think Cebu has anything specific. Murray Giants, well, I don't think Soshi Togo is a big league prospect. And then there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is going to be ball 4 to McCarthy, and he's drawn himself a walk. That's going to bring up the shortstop, Kotaro Kobayashi. That's going to bring the pitching coach out of the Marines dugout, as we've seen this act before. Guerrero strikes out the first 2, and he starts to fall apart. Just like some of the earlier pitchers, specifically the starter tonight, Futaki. My friend Troy says, I don't want to hear anything about Roki not coming to the Tigers, not unless Hideo Nomo is the lead scout for the Tigers trying to bring him in. I think that's not going to happen. So it looks like we got a pinch runner for McCarthy at first base. I'll have to get you the specs on that. So Kobayashi steps to the plate. He's raised his average to 210. He's got a single for 3 and an RBI tonight. And here comes the first offering from Guerrero. He kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly over. And 1 to Kirby that Roy Halladay once had. Really hard putting away the Orix hitters once they get first couple out, then they seem to lose their focus and concentration as there's a breaking ball that misses down and the count's 1-1. The problem Roy Halladay once had is they had an issue where Halladay would be able to get the first 2 outs in the inning, and then it was a walk, a hit batter, and a home run, and the next thing you know, he's given up 3. As a fastball swung on, it's fouled away. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line, and the count is 1-2 to Kobayashi. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd is getting themselves a little bit excited now. Troy says, is there a Japanese scout or something? There are Pacific Rim scouts. There's definitely that for sure. There is a Fastball that misses down and is going to run the count to 2-2. I know the Padres scout who looks after the Pacific Rim also had conversations with the Dodgers scout, as I was put in touch with him a couple of years ago. So there are guys who do scout those areas and looking for players, not just at the top level of the NPB, but also the high school levels and college. They go out and watch and see what's going on. And there's a fastball swung on and fouled away by Kobayashi down the right field line. And count remains at 2-2. Troy says, I'm pretty sure the Tigers will know about him if they have a scout or not. Yes, he was on the ESPN highlights earlier this year, so it's hard not to see that. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. But it is interesting where teams will position scouts. When I was in Europe, there were certain teams that you would hear about or see, or they'd come across you, and there is a fastball swung on and grounded foul down the right field line. And count is 2-2. And then there were scouts that you never even saw existed. So, for example, the Minnesota Twins and the New York Mets had presence in Europe. Call that a European scouting adventure. You think about the Twins getting Max Kepler for $400,000 signing bonus. What a steal that's turned out to be. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. But there was always players that were being signed out of the Czech Republic and out of Belgium, of all places. There was a player's last name, I think, was Wolf or De Wolf. Of course, when you think of European players that get to the big leagues, it's usually the Dutch or the Italians. Alex Liddy is the last Italian that comes to my mind. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away, and the count remains again at 2-2 to Kobayashi. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. But even, for example, certain areas of the countries, they may not know guys or may not get reports on certain players. Sometimes they may not even know where the player is, depending on where they're positioned. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Guerrero holds set. And now he steps off the backside and he chases Mune back to the bag at second. Our friend Joseph Gordon asked the question, where did Seiya Suzuki play? He played with the Hiroshima-Toyo Carp. And you could see that he was a prospect when I was watching last year. And there's a ball swung on it, just chopped softly to short, fielded barehanded by the shortstop Hechavarria. Now they got trouble. They got a runner in the rundown between second and third, but now they got the runner going from third to home, and it is Mune who is going to be tagged out, and that is going to end it. So some more base running calamity here in this one, almost like the game that we witnessed earlier, as that is going to retire the runners here. So it was a ground ball to Hechavarria. While trying to describe the play to you, Hechavarria grabbed it with the bare hand, threw over to first, and they couldn't retire the runner. And the first baseman threw it down to the shortstop at second as the runner from second was caught between second and third. Then Yuma Mune, who was going to third, took off for home, and that's where they nailed him between the plate. They got some fireworks in between innings, just as there were fireworks on the base paths. That is going to do it here, as that will retire Mune on the fielder's choice to end the innings. So there was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning as the fireworks display is going on. We'll be right back here in just a couple moments, everybody, with the call. Bottom of the 7th inning. Hang tight. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll be Edney Hechavarria, Toshiya Sato, and Hiromi Oka. And we'll be back here in about 30 more seconds to call as the fireworks have come to an end. We do appreciate Jesse for subscribing to the channel. Thanks, Jesse. We saw the notification. We appreciate you for doing it. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with the call at the bottom of the 7th.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game and Last Raps Baseball. It's today's Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Daiki Tajima coming back out for the 7th inning of work. He is going to be facing Hechavarria, Sato, and Oka here. He's at 90 pitches through his 6 innings of work, and I have to say, after the first couple innings, I wasn't sure he was going to be here this long, but there he is, and the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul by Hechavarria, and the count is 0-1. Hechavarria tonight is 1 for 2. He's doubled and scored a run and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. Our friend Joseph Gordon asked in the last inning where Suzuki played, and we said he was with the Hiroshima Toyo Carp. As a fastball is delivered and swung on and missed by Hechavarria. Counts 1-2. If I had to project, and as I said last year in one of our reports, that I felt that Suzuki would fit somewhere in between the likes of, or maybe slot in just behind it was more of a Hideki Matsui type of player. And there was a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. I mean, everybody points to Ichiro and gets that in their mind, but what I thought of when he came to the big leagues is, in my mind, he was more of a Hideki Matsui comparable. If he can become that, then he's done a great job. There's a 1-2 pitch that's swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Hechavarria. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you see that sometimes, the way that players are, they can get those type of numbers. I figured, he could be the kind of guy that's going to hit you 20 to 25 homers, or maybe 25 to 30 in his best years. And there's a fastball that misses low. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Hechavarria didn't go, and that runs the count to 2-2. But as far as I'm concerned, be the kind of guy that can hit you 20 to 25 homers and drive you in between 85 and 95 runs a year. The problem in Chicago is, are they going to get enough base runners to get on for that? There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short, fielded by Kirbayashi. He throws to first. That is going to retire Hechavarria on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1 here in the 7th inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Toshiya Sato. Taking a quick look around the NPB and the other scores from the out-of-town scoreboard. All the games are underway now across the NPB. As that is in the bottom of the 7th inning, it is all knotted up at 5s between the Fighters and the Eagles, Golden Eagles. Golden Eagles scored 3 in the bottom half of the 7th, and they are still batting. The runner at 3rd and 2 gone. So 5-5 in that one. As a fastball swung on, this ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Sato's got himself a single here. That is going to bring up the right fielder, Hiromi Oka. For Oka, he's been on base twice tonight. He doubled and knocked in a run, and he walked his last time up, but it was erased in a double play. Games that are going on in the Central League, the Hanshin Tigers have a 2-0 lead over the Tokyo Yakult Swallows. It's in the top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Chinichi Dragons are leading the Hiroshima Toyo Carp 2-1. Chinichi scored in the top of the 5th to break a 1-1 deadlock. There's a fastball swung on. It is looped softly over to short. They throw over to first, and they're going to double off Sato. Unbelievable. Some more boneheaded base running by the Marines. It was a soft looping liner to Oka, as he is retired for the 2nd out, and Sato retired on the back end. Double play, 6-3 to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now moving to the top of the 8th. It is the Orix Buffaloes 4, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with the call after this. The defense has been unbelievable, or has it been boneheaded offensive running? You be the judge.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you, Matt Hollis. We'll be back in about 20 seconds with the call here, everybody. Hang tight. We are glad you're with us.
Thanks for checking out Freddie and Last Raps Baseball. It's time to announce the winner of this month's mystery pack. Boom! Josh S., you're the winner. Congratulations. Enjoy the game, and remember to tell Steve Rademacher, take a haircut. Back to the game.
Welcome back, everybody. We do have a pitching change for the Chiba Lotte Marines. It is going to be a left-hander coming into the ballgame. It is going to be Koshiro Sakamoto as he takes over for Tehran Guerrero. This is his second appearance for the Marines. He was acquired from the Tokyo Yakult Swallows on the season for the Marines. This is his second appearance. He's worked one inning, and he had a pretty much a clean slate. The Swallows this year, he was 0-1 in 7 appearances. He'd worked 10 and 2/3 innings, allowed 15 hits. He'd walked 9, struck out 11, and had conceded 14 runs. 11 of them had been earned. So he is on in relief here to see what he can do for the Chiba Lotte Marines. So Koshiro Sakamoto on in relief. Our first time seeing the left-hander. I can't recall seeing him in a Swallow uniform. So Sakamoto on ready to face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order for the Orix Buffaloes. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Wakatsuki. He is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and 3 trips to the plate. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and in. Now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, we fell a little bit behind on our ticker there as we were up running around in between innings trying to get some water and some food. And there's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted to deep right field. And racing back and looking up on the track is the right fielder, Oka, and that ball is gone. A home run for Wakatsuki. That ball got out in a big hurry, and that's going to extend the lead to 5-2 for the Buffaloes here in the 8th inning. So if Eric Cheng is still listening in, he's got to feel pretty good about himself. I'm pretty sure he's taken the Buffaloes. Eric was around earlier on, so a home run and an RBI for Wakatsuki. Alexander said he didn't miss that one. That ball got out in a hurry. So that's going to bring up the top of the order in Tetsuya Yamashi. As Yamashi takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yamashi today is 2 for 4, as he had entered the game with only 1 hit in 17 trips. Now he is 3 for 21 on the season. As there's the breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Sakamoto holds at the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined to left field, right to the glove of Ogino, and that is going to retire Yamashi for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the center fielder, Shuhei Fukuda. Well, I'll tell you this. There is no mystery here with Sakamoto. The two balls that have been put in play have been struck very hard. That is going to bring Fukuda to the plate. That always is a bell and whistle when you have pitchers that are on the mound. Is it hard contact that the offense is delivering against them? It's usually time to get your bullpen ready, but maybe he won't be that long because they're probably already getting it ready. And there's a first pitch fastball to Fukuda, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Fukuda is 2 for 4 tonight. He's got a couple of singles. He's scored a run. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded over to short. Echeverria fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Fukuda on a ground out 6-3 for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the left fielder Kai Nakagawa to the plate. For Nakagawa, he is 1 for 4. He doubled and scored a run and knocked in a run in the third inning. He's also struck out and then flown to right field twice. Curious to see if Taijima is going to come back out for his 8th inning of work. He's got a big fat ice pack on his head. By all accounts, I probably would think they probably will. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0 to Nakagawa. So Nakagawa waiting on the offering here from the left-hander, Sakamoto. Who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-1. So 5-2 is the scoreline for the Buffaloes. As Tajima is now up and throwing in front of the dugout. Or maybe he's throwing up in front of the dugout. Either way, there's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Nakagawa. You can see why this lefty Sakamoto, why you could like him. I like the way that he delivers his pitches. It's not easy. As there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and Nakagawa has gone on strikes for the third out of the inning, but the Buffaloes get themselves another run on the solo home run by Kenya Wakatsuki. It was a run, a hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 7.5. It is a 5-2 lead for the Orix Buffaloes. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this when we return. We appreciate you guys for being here. Here is our friend Steve again.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have Lira. We have Yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Thank you very much, Steve. It's great to have you, and we appreciate your support of the channel. We are moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is slated to be Yudai Fujioka, and then the top of the order, Takashi Ogino and Akito Takabe to come to bat. The left-hander Daiki Tajima is still in the ball game. We're going to get a check to see if there is going to be a pinch hitter or not. Troy asked the question. He says, is the NPB the second best league in the world? As here comes the first offering to Fujioka. It's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. It's a good question, Troy. It's certainly better than the KBO. There's no doubt about that in my mind. And here's the 0-1 offering. It is a breaking ball that misses down. The Australian League is not much more than an A-ball league. The Dutch league is a fairly strong league, but it's not on the par with the Japanese, not even close. The Cuban league has been demolished by the exile of a lot of its players. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count now goes to 1-2 on Fujioka. So I would have to say yes, it is the second best league. Also, to put in context that they only allow 3 international players to be playing in the game at one time. Whereas when you think about Major League Baseball, you can see some teams that may have 5, 6 guys in the lineup that are non-American. There's a fastball swung on. It's lifted into left field. Camping out underneath it is the left fielder, Nakagawa. He makes the catch, and that's going to retire Fujioka for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order, the left fielder, Takashi Ogino. So when you look at the winter leagues down in Venezuela or possibly even the Dominican, even though there's some great talent down there, they're probably not on the par of the Japanese league, the full summer league. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Troy says Aaron Judge became the second fastest player in Major League history to hit 200 career home runs. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count's now 2-0 to Ogino. Ogino is 1 for 3 tonight. He homered his first time up. He's also flown to left and hit into a double play. As here's the pitch. It is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. Judge might hit 600 if he stays in New York. Yeah, that short porch in right field is something that's there. Obviously, Judge being a right-handed hitter, not being a left-handed hitter, but he can spray the ball around a little bit, and it is a bandbox. New York they built themselves a small stadium there. As the fastball was a check swing fouled away, and the count's 2-2 to Ogino. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. But as Troy says, he's been using that short porch in right field a lot. Yes, he has. Maybe that's the incentive to go the other way. There's the 2-2 offering, and it's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul on the third base side. Count remains at 3-2. My friend Mick says Judge said he'd take a pay cut just to stay a Yankee. I think if they're smart, he retires a Yankee. They keep him their whole career there. There's a fastball that misses inside, and that's going to be ball 4 to Ogino. He's going to be aboard with a walk. Yeah, Mick said it best. He wants to retire a Yankee. I would think so. Troy says he's going to get so much after this year. Yeah. You know, the one thing is that I don't like about his game is that his defense is not the greatest. The addition of Andrew Benintendi will help them defensively in the outfield. Aaron Hicks is getting a little long in the tooth. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. They throw to second for 1, but it's not going to be able to be returned as Takabe is just too quick. It's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to erase Ogino at second, 4-6. He's gone for the second out, and that's going to leave it all up to Shogo Nakamura. Troy says 10-year, $450 million. I think Juan Soto is going to set the bar. I've been calling a $500 million contract for Soto. He's going to be the first $50 million a year player in all of ball. So for Troy to say 10 years at 450, I don't think you're out of the ballpark on that one, Troy. He's bet on himself, and he's playing himself right into that. It's the first pitch fastball that's delivered to Nakamura, and it's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Mick says he's super tall, and I don't know if he's lanky. I wouldn't call Judge so much lanky. He is tall. He's 6'8". There's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up over on the right side. moving over, and it's playable, and making the catch is the first baseman. Not sure who the first baseman is as it's come on for Joe McCarthy, but that is going to do it as Nakamura is gone for the third out of the inning. There were no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and one runner left the board. We are now moving to the top of the ninth. Your score, Orix 5, Chiba 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. We appreciate you all for being here. Here's our friend Steve Rademacher once again. Check out his channel after the game.
Hello, kids. Steve coming at you. It's Steve Rademacher. And if you like interesting stuff, if you like to laugh a little bit, and if you enjoy collecting, this channel's for you. If you like non-sport cards, we have them. You like pseudo-sport cards, we open them. Even if you like entire boxes of completely pointless stuff or other sports, we have everything here. I drop a different video every day, and there's always a theme to it, from No Filter Friday to Saturday morning cartoons, even Sunday shoutouts. Once in a while, we'll get a little froggy and show Money Money Monday, where I showcase a bunch of my currency. We have Legos, we have Star Wars, we have a good time. We even have my brother on Takeover Tuesday. Be there or be square. Back to Freddy.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. And we like to support Steve Rademacher. Be sure after the game to go check him out. Black Summer Weekend is what they call this one here, and that's how the jerseys that the Marines are wearing tonight, the black with the purple trim. Interesting that that's what their slogan is. I don't know really what the whole idea is behind it, but that is what they are pitching this as, the Black Summer Weekend. And the fans are out watching this one here. It's not a full house on a Sunday, which is a little bit interesting. I would have thought that they would have had a better crowd for this. So the left-hander Sakamoto is still in the ball game. He's going to be facing the designated hitter Yoshida. The first pitch is a fastball that misses down for ball one. The count is 1-0. Our friend Alexander Leggett says, as a Nats fan, I'd take Judge over Soto any day. I sure wouldn't. I like Soto's defense better than I do Judge's. I like his overall athleticism better. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 2-0. I would definitely be keeping my eggs in the Juan Soto basket. Be curious to see if you would have a deal if the Atlanta Braves weren't in the East. I wonder if the Braves would pony up for a deal for Soto. There's a ground ball to second, and it's fielded neatly by Nakamura. He throws to first. Yoshida is retired on a ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder Yataro Sugimoto, but it's going to bring the manager out of the dugout and the pitching coach to the mound, and that is going to be it for the left-hander Sakamoto. His day is over as they are going to the bullpen. And so hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments as we do have a pitching change on our hands here. Sakamoto's day is done. Just the home run to lead off that eighth inning, but he retired the last four hitters he faced. His day is finished in Chiba. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We're waiting on the pitching change here as they have brought in a right-hander, have the Marines. We'll get the opportunity to check that out here in a second. It's going to be the right-hander number 33. That is going to be Yagi, who is coming into the ball game. It is going to be Akira Yagi as he takes over. This is his 15th appearance. The rookie right-hander has worked 14 and 2/3 innings, allowed 16 hits, 6 walks. He's struck out 16. He's got an ERA of 3.07 as he's conceded 5 runs all earned this year. So Yagi is coming into the ball game to take over here for Sakamoto. This will be the 5th pitcher used today by Tadaguchi. So Yagi in, Sakamoto out. As he is just completing his warm-up tosses, and he's going to be facing the right fielder, Yutaro Sugimoto, with 1 gone here in the top half of the 9th inning. Our friend Troy says, or Alexander says, he says it's 7 a.m. on the East Coast, and he's got to call it quits. Oh, don't you know the Marines are coming back in the bottom half? Well, Alexander, we appreciate you for stopping in tonight and hanging with us for most of 2 games. There's a fastball that misses up and in for ball 1, and the count is 1-0 to Sugimoto. That pitch was a fastball right up around the chin, a little bit of chin music for him. So right now, in that situation, it would be neat to see what Sugimoto does. That's when the guy gets dusted off the plate, and the next pitch he deposits into the seats. So let's see what happens here. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that's exactly what Sugimoto tried to do. It's going to even the count now at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And here's the offering from the right-hander. Again, another fastball that came up and in, and the count is now 2-1. And you can tell Sugimoto is definitely not impressed. That ball brushes him off the plate. So the right-hander Yagi leans in, gets the sign. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away. It's going to run the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes to Sugimoto. Just a couple of reminders. We're going to be back on again tomorrow. We're going to do the Major League game of the week at the Sunday night game between the Cubs and the Giants. So we'll get a chance to watch Seiya Suzuki tomorrow night. And then we're going to be calling a bunch of the Japanese games during the week. So be sure to check our channel out to see what games we're going to call, when they're going to call them. There'll be 2 in the morning Pacific or 5 a.m. on the East Coast. As that ball was fouled away down the right field line, it keeps the count at 2-2. So we have a full slate coming up this week. We're going to do Tuesday through the Saturday Japan games, but we're not going to call next week's Sunday Japan game. I'm going to be down in Seattle for a double header. So we'll be tapping out of that one there. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This is grounded over to second. Nakamura fields it. He throws over to first, and that's going to retire Sugimoto on a ground out 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Yuma Mune. For Mune, he has been all over the base paths tonight. Mune has got a couple of hits. He's singled twice. He's driven in a run. He's stolen a base. He's also walked twice and scored a run. He's raised his season average up to 272. So Mune looking to try to get on base for the 5th time this evening. Here's the first offering from Yagi. It's a fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. So Yagi getting ready to go back to work. Here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is now 1 ball and 1 strike to Mune. So holding at the belt, and Yagi now kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in hard on it is the left fielder, Ochino, and he makes the catch. And that is going to do it here for the Buffaloes in their half of the ninth inning. Well, the Marines are down to their final 3 outs, but the left-hander Daiki Tajima's night is over, as it would appear as the manager has come out to announce to the home plate umpire there will be a pitching change. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll bring this one home for you. Your score is 5-2 as we're moving to the bottom of the ninth inning. The Chiba Lotte Marines trailing in this one. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few.
Domo arigato. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm new at this. Thank you for watching Last Raps Baseball. Tell all your friends and family to come check him out, ask some questions during the telecast, and give him a good sub and a thumbs up. And this is Steve coming back at you, and some new things on my channel. Star Wars figures that everybody likes. We have Mad magazines from the 1970s. We try to avoid the Noid. And for your pleasure, once in a while, we can open up Michael Jackson if you want, the cards. We have Elvis. We have Sadahar O. We love everything that is everything, so we even have the Beatles fighting with lightsabers. Look at that, John and George. Once in a while, we'll even have my brother take over my channel on a Tuesday. So once again, everybody tell your friends, come see Freddie at Last Raps Baseball. And right now, I'm going to kick it right back to you, Freddie.
Appreciate you there, Steve. It'll be the veteran right-hander Mataki Higa coming into the ball game. He is going to be replacing Daiki Tajima, who went 8 innings tonight, as he had been able to retire the Marines. He gave up runs in the first and in the second inning. He really settled down after that as he was able to efficiently work through the Marines here tonight. There are some defensive changes out in the outfield, but I'll have to get those for you a little bit later. Some of the times it's hard for us to catch up with that. So Higa, he's 3-0 on the season. He's appeared in those 18 games. He's worked 13 and a third innings. He's allowed 13 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 13. He's conceded 6 runs, of which 5 have been earned. He's got an ERA of 3.38. So it'll be Inoue, Laird, and Hechavarria, the heart of the Marines batting order, here to face him in the 9th inning, as we're ready to resume the action here. So 5-2 for the Marines as we are moving to the bottom of the 9th. The first pitch is a fastball that misses inside. And the count is quickly no balls and 1 ball and no strikes to Inoue. Inoue batting from the right side against the right-hander Higa, who kicks and delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-1. The Marines are down to their final bats here. The Marines, ironically, at one point here had a 2-0 lead as there was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is now 1-2. It was the 3-run uprising in the 3rd inning by Orix that pushed them out in front, and they've never looked back since. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is now 2-2 to Inoue. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander Higa rocks into the motion. He kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Inoue is aboard with a leadoff single here. One would have to think that that'll be the end of it for him, as there'll probably be a pinch runner coming in here. We'll have to wait and see as time is called, but he's getting rid of all the gear. But who knows? He really isn't the run that really matters. The one that will really matter is on deck if Brandon Laird can get on. So Laird steps up to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He is grounded to third. He's grounded to second, and he is flown out to center. So 2 ground outs and a fly out. one fly out to center field. He hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark. It was hauled in to end the inning back in the, or actually it was the first out of the fourth inning. Takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Laird, a longtime veteran of the NPB, 8 years he's been in a Marine uniform. As Higa looks in, he gets the sign, he checks the runner, and he comes set. Now he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul. And the count now is no balls and 2 strikes to Laird. We're here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Marines are trailing by 3, but they've got a runner on. They need another base runner, and I'll give them a chance. Laird will be followed by Edney Hechavarria. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on. It is cued foul behind home plate. Keeps the count at 0-2. I saw in the playoffs last year when Hechavarria hit the home run, I believe it was against Tohoku. Absolute blast. So no balls and 2 strikes. Higa holds at the belt. Yeah, now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Laird. Not much left in this one tonight, that's for sure. As the Marines are down to their final outs here. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it is a fastball ticket for a called third strike. Laird stood there like the house by the side of the road and watched that one go by for out number 1, and that is going to retire him for the first out here in the 9th inning, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Edney Hechavarria. Interesting, it was a split finger pitch that Higa really threw more down off of the side. When you think of the split finger pitch, you think of the pitch that goes in the way of a clock from 12 to 6, but because Higa released the ball more at an angle of 3 o'clock, the split finger wasn't moving down, it was moving more side to side. And it really fooled Laird. So that brings up Hechavarria to the plate. Hechavarria is 1 for 3, doubled and scored a run in the 2nd inning. He swings at the first pitch and fouls that away, and the count is 0-1. He struck out in the 4th and grounded to the shortstop in the 7th. So 1 for 3 tonight for Hechavarria. So Hechavarria digs in. He's pulled his batting average up to 242. He's waiting on the offering here from the right-hander Higa. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 0-2. The catcher, Toshiya Sato, awaits his turn on deck, assuming that Hechavarria doesn't ground himself into a double play. Here comes the 1-2 offering now. Or check that, the 0-2 offering. Now Hechavarria has asked for time, and the pitcher, Higa, has stepped off the backside of the rubber, and now we're ready to go again. So no balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Inoue. And here comes the pitch. He kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball swung on. This ball has popped up down the left field line. Racing back over underneath it and making the catch is this shortstop, Kirbayashi. He calls off the third baseman, Mune, as he does the left fielder, and he's able to make that grab. So Hechavarria gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to Toshiya Sato. For Sato tonight, he is 1 for 2. He singled, he's grounded out, and he had a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd inning. So officially 1 for 2. The catcher digs in. He's batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Higa. Checks the sign from his catcher, and comes set at the belt, and his first pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Sato batting from the left side against the right-hander Higa. It's got a slightly open stance. Holds the bat shoulder height a little bit away from him here, and here comes the offering. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Sato. The Marines trailing 5-2 here with 2 gone in the 9th inning. As Higa works from the stretch. And now he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball waved at and missed. And now the count goes to 1-2. So now the Marines are down to their final strike. This ball game here is about to be wrapped up if Sato can't find a way to get on base. So the black summer jerseys that the Marines are sporting tonight, maybe not necessarily one for the long haul. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into left center field, racing back on it. And this ball is going to be caught by the center fielder for the Orix Buffaloes. And that is going to do it as Daiki Tajima is going to get himself the win. As we had to wait for that one to come down. And that is going to do it here in the 9th inning for the Chiba Lotte Marines. There was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Your final score, the Orix Buffaloes 5, the Chiba Lotte Marines 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll wrap this one up when we come back in just a couple moments. Thanks for stopping in with us here tonight. Here is our friend Dave.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for checking out the game. And Last Raps Baseball. This is Dave, Zero Thought Sports Card. If you like pack openings, baseball, all that good stuff, check us out. Drop a comment on our channel this month to win a mystery pack of cards. All you gotta do is say Last Rap sent you to be entered. And we'll drop a video later on this month announcing the winner. Enjoy the game.
Appreciate you there, Dave. We're going to wrap this one up as we'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we call it a night. Earlier final in from Fukuoka, the SoftBank Hawks knocked off the Saitama Cebu Lions 4-2. 4-8-0 for the Hawks, 2-9-0 for the Lions. It was Yoshi Wada getting his 3rd win against 2 defeats. Dietrich Enns takes the loss. He goes to 6-6. Levon Moinello got the save. It was his 15th of the year. Brian O'Grady hit his 14th homer for the Lions. Yerizabel Graciel hit his 6th for Fukuoka. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles have taken a commanding 10-5 lead over the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. It was a 6-run uprising in the bottom of the 7th inning that had jump-started the Eagles as they were down at 1 point, 5-1. They scored 6 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and they're still batting in the bottom of the 8th inning. 10-12-0 for the Eagles, Golden Eagles, 5-6-2 for the Fighters. That game is still going on. In the top of the 8th inning, the Hanshin Tigers have a 2-1 lead over the Yakult Swallows. 2-6-0 for the Tigers, 1-5-2 for the Swallows. The only other game is in the bottom of the 6th inning. It is the Hiroshima Toyo Carp and the Chinichi Dragons all locked up at 2. And that is where they stand in the bottom of the 6th with the Carp batting with runners on the corners and 2 gone. So again, your final here tonight, it was a 5-2 victory for the Orix Buffaloes. The Chiba Lotte Marines got the scoring going. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead. In the first inning, it was Takashi Ojino hit his solo shot to start the ball game. And that was a 1-0 lead after 1. In the bottom of the 2nd inning, it was an Edney Hechavarria double. He was sacrificed over to third by Toshiya Sato. And then Hiromi Oka doubled home the run of Hechavarria. That made the score 2-0. Well, in the top of the 3rd inning, the Orix Buffaloes got to the starter Kota Futaki. It was a leadoff single by Yamashi, then another single by Fukuda, and a double by Nakagawa drove in Yamashi, and that made the score 2-1. Then Masataki Yoshida grounded out, and that evened up the score. That brought home Fukuda. That made the score 2-2. After a walk to Sugimoto, Yuma Mune stepped up and delivered an RBI single that brought home Nakagawa, and that made the score 3-2 through 3. Well, and the 5th inning, the Buffaloes added to their lead with 2 out. Yuma Mune walked, Joe McCarthy singled, and Kotaro Kobayashi singled to drive home Mune, and that made the score 4-2 for the Buffaloes. And then the Buffaloes in the 8th inning padded the lead to 5-2 as it was a solo shot by Kenya Wakatsuki to lead off the top of the 8th inning, his 2nd home run of the year, and that was where this game had ended. So for the line in this one, it was 5-12-0 for the Buffaloes, 2-8-1 for the Marines. Daiki Tajima gets his 7th win against 3 losses. Pataki takes the loss. He's 2-3. Higa gets his first save of the year. For the Buffaloes, as we said, Wakatsuki hit his 2nd and Ogino hit his 2nd. And again, your final score was 5-2. Once again, everybody, we want to thank everybody for stopping in and listening tonight. Our friend Mick says, are we doing a game tonight? We're going to do the Sunday night baseball of the Giants and the Cubs. That is going to be the only one we're going to do later on this evening. We do appreciate everybody for listening in. We hope we can catch you tomorrow when we do the Major League game, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. Hope you can be there. Have a great night, everybody. This has been a long day of baseball, but we are glad we could be a part of it with you. Have a great night, everybody.